anywhere you listen to podcasts. Let's talk some sports. It's Big D Energy.
Hey, yo, welcome back. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network on a Wednesday. That's what it is, right? It is Wednesday, right?
Correct.
On all the days go together. Oh, that's right. It's a Detroit City Wednesday. Antoine Hoppenot will join the show here in studio coming up in about 14 minutes. My name is Neal Ruhl. We got Jeff Iafrate here as advertised. He is back. We got Spencer Raxter in the building. And guys, look, you know, I believe it's going to be as hot as the surface of the sun today. So Sam Flannel is perfect. Feast your eyes on Sam Flannel today, everyone. He has the sleeveless flannel. He is ready to rock. He's staying cool. He's ready to go, Jeff Iafrate. Almost as cool as your hair.
I got a little intimidated by Sam. I'm not going to lie. I had to wear my Sam Flannel repellent, which is a Ben Wallace shirt. All right, this is the only thing that'll keep him away from me. The only thing.
That's pretty good. I see what you did there. I absolutely see what you did there. But no, we are happy to have everybody here with us. Remember, you can tap in on the YouTube channel. As you usually can, we'll read all your comments on there on the YouTube chat thread. Social media handles are on the screen. However you want to get involved, certainly feel free to get involved that way. And you know how it is. Detroit Dabber 313, my cream of wheat is made. I'm all ready for the show. So, we don't condone that. That's that's not something that I'm going to get behind. There is no question about that. But I did want to discuss this with you guys. And as I've told you many, many times, we have a text thread. We kind of rap, before we go on the show about stuff we're going to talk about today. And my friends and I did something. And keep in mind, I have like a core of like 4 buddies. One of them I've been friends with since I was 5 years old. Grew up across the street, and we've just been friends ever since. 3 of the other buddies are from high school, and we're still pretty tight. We go on vacations with the families and everything like that. Yeah. So we were kicking this around before, and we actually did it. And I want you guys to tell me. I go to the audience. I go to you guys, too. So all of us put in $20. And so there's 5 of us, so there's $100. And it's in this envelope. And whoever lives the longest gets the $100. We have a little contract drawn up and everything like that. My buddy has the envelope with the contract and the money, all that stuff. Whoever's the last man standing gets the $100. Is that entertaining? Is that funny? Or is that sick? Which is it?
It depends on the group, and from what I'm hearing, I think that's hilarious. I mean, clearly with you guys, it's going to work out, and I think I would do something similar. Like, I have the same kind of core of 4 friends, and that sounds like something we do as well. Someone's making profit off somebody's death, which is kind of sick to think about, but it's all fun and games. I think it's awesome.
Sam Flannel.
Here's the big question. When did you make this pact?
We did this about a couple months ago.
Okay, because I was going to... Because a lot of it depends on who out of your friends is the healthiest. I'd be looking around being like, ooh, my friend maybe smokes cigarettes. Oh, my other friend maybe drinks too much, is maybe a little overweight. I was asking because I was curious if you made this pact when you were over 300 pounds. That wouldn't be very smart.
No. And see, there's also a caveat to that, because when you go around... My one buddy, big energy drink guy, doesn't eat the healthiest and stuff like that. So I'm already at a positive expectation, right? The odds versus, there's no way he's going to make it. There's no way he's going to make it. So I'm above him. So therefore, you have a positive expectation, a positive outcome expectation on the bet. So it makes sense on the books, everybody. Spencer Raxter, your thoughts?
I like it. I'm all for it. You can put some odds on who goes first, who goes last, where we're going with it. I like it. I like it a lot.
And Neal's a salary cap guy.
Yeah.
So
it's got to make sense.
If it makes money, it makes sense. And from what I'm hearing, it makes perfect sense. So.
No, it does, because I know there's one that ain't going to make it. And he knows it. He's the one. He says it first. He's like, I'll be the first one out, but I'll still get in this thing. And, that guy 62 says it's funny and it's sick. I'm with it, though. So I just want to know. Chuck says $20 at your stage of life isn't huge. $20 are broke freshmen in college. Bigger deal. He said by the time you guys die, it'll buy a cup of coffee. And that probably is the case. But it is, we laugh about it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And that's all you look for. I mean, it's all fun. If people actually, I like what Chuck had to say, though, because at my age, like if I made a bet right now and you had to stay packed to it for another 40 years, that's what makes it interesting. Because in 40 years from now, you got to bring up the fact that 40 years ago, you made that bet. And if you pass away, I'm at the funeral. Where's my $20 at?
Yep. So, that's what it is. I just wanted to run it by the people and get everybody's thoughts on it. But as we said, got a big-time show lined up for you here today. Our guy Antoine Hoppenot will be back in studio coming up in about 9 minutes from now. We'll wrap about Detroit City FC. Big article about him in the Detroit News as well. If you had a chance to read that, go back and read that, DetroitNews.com. Lions made a signing. We got some college baseball to discuss as well, apparently. So we'll get into that. I know those long-standing, intense Michigan baseball fans
Packed.
had their hearts broken last night. We'll discuss that as well. So we got a lot of stuff to get to. There's a receivers question for the Detroit Lions, and Spencer's been on his game with the scenario questions. He's got a good duo question. Which one of these duos would you take in your prime? And, we're going to talk some basketball, too, the Deandre Ayton thing, because the draft's almost here.
It is. About a week out.
Yeah, I don't think people realize that
It's just flying under the radar. It really is.
Yeah, and the Hopium, we'll line up for the Hopium hits. It is. It's undefeated.
I got my pre-show Hopium already. I'm good.
You guys got to Ask Neal on here again?
Yeah.
Okay.
Neal, how could we not? I mean, come on.
Questions for the heel.
People want to know.
Questions for the heel. There is some discussion though, but as we said, those real feels are going to hit over 100 degrees today, and it's smoking hot. Sam Flannel, as we said, has the sleeve. If you're late jumping onto the show, give him another taste, Sam Flannel. The sleeveless flannel. There it is.
Who's going to disagree with him? I mean, good luck. You got to face Sam.
He's got Ben Wallace shaking in his boots.
Rack on our YouTube chat thread says, mulletless Hoppenot, that's unacceptable. We'll ask him about that when he joins us coming up in just a couple of minutes. So I saw him saunter into the studio a couple of minutes. He knows. I'm sure he knows that question is coming. But we'll discuss all of it as well. But again, the power at our house went out last night just for a little while, enough for my wife to wake me up and say, hey, the power's out. And then before I fell back asleep, it came back on. So I don't know how long it was out for.
You were chilling.
But we are getting to that season, right, where you see these where the power dips on and dips off. I guess down in Ohio, they're going through that right now during the hottest time of the year. What do you do? What's your go-to, Iafrate, when it's like smoking hot outside?
Well, stay TF indoors. That is my go-to, but because I love playing basketball outside, obviously that's one of my favorite things to do. But if it's too hot, it's insanity for me to go outside and play basketball. I'm already a bad sweater as it is, and if I go outside when it's 95 degrees out, I ain't making it back in. So for me, I'm going in, and whatever's on, I'm watching it. Not the USFL though. But I'll be watching it. Yeah, I'll be chilling indoors, man. Especially today. If you guys want to get out, go do it. But beware.
See, I'm out. Like, I live for this. I dream of these days every day in January, February.
You dream of these days.
I do. I dream of these. Like being able to just walk outside and have the wind not burn your face within seconds of being outside. It doesn't bother me the way it bothers other people. Like, you're gonna sweat. That's the way it is. You're gonna sweat. I take this over snow every single day of the week.
And I agree with that. I think the question I would ask is would you rather be too hot or too cold? And you would obviously prefer too hot. For me, I sweat so bad. A part of me would rather be too cold. But at the same time, I love the heat. So it's a weird dynamic. It really is. I don't mind it, though. More the heat in Michigan, you got it for like a 3-month stretch.
That's my point.
Yeah, you got to enjoy it.
This isn't guaranteed what we're getting right here, man.
It's not.
And look, the spring sucked.
Yeah, it did.
It was never warm. It just recently got warm.
Yeah.
Like a week ago.
Just stopped raining like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. And it rains every single day. Like, it sucks. Yeah. Look, let's be real. I can talk about it because I've lived here, born and raised my whole life. The weather sucks here, man.
Oh, yeah. It's terrible. My whole family wants to go to Florida, so I gotta pitch them just to stay for the time being. So I'm not arguing with you with that.
AC asks, he says, don't you have a generator, Mr. Two Furnace? I do not, as a matter of fact. I guess I should write that into the next contract or something.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I do not. And Jack Harrington says, Michigan summers are the only good time of year here, but it sucks otherwise. And that's my point, man. If you're wasting these days, if you're just saying, hey, I'm going to stay inside.
Yeah, you're on borrowed time. Like,
bingo.
That's what it is.
Like, go get a mulligan made with gypsy vodka. Sit under a tree in your yard or sit in the shade and smash that mulligan, man.
No, absolutely. That's kind of how I've been doing it as well. Maybe you're not playing basketball, but I'm definitely outside. You can bike. People that you can do whatever. Walk. I have a dog. Walk your dog. You have so many things you can do.
Oh boy, King Yehuda. It's not the heat; it's the humidity that gets you. Okay, Dad.
Yeah, that's a dad. That's a dad quote right there.
Yeah, I feel him on that.
No, but you know what though, Spencer? At the same time, like I'm laughing about it.
Yeah.
We are in the throes of back sweat
for
season.
Sure.
It is back sweat season.
The annals of back sweat are they going to come running down?
And it doesn't matter if you're in your cubicle over there.
Yeah.
If you're driving your car with the AC on, blowing right, it doesn't matter.
My car was colder when I got into it this morning than it was just outside. Like my car wasn't on, I don't have remote start. When I walked in, opened my door, got in the car, it was cooler in there than it was standing outside. I don't like it. I'm not a fan.
Rack says, I'm with you, Neal. I love the heat after living in Southern California for a while. This heat isn't bad. And,
Well, I lived in Southern California.
No, elite. Yeah. He probably has two furnaces.
For
He had
sure.
two ACs in
For
Southern
sure.
California. There's no doubt. There's no question about it. Pistons fan 11. Michigan fall is awesome. Jack, what you mean? Hey, Pistons fan, like fall's awesome for like 4 days.
Yeah. Do we even get fall anymore?
Yeah, like it's summer and then it snows.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, there's no in between at that point.
And look, we're taking a couple minutes to talk about it because it's a relevant topic today. Because the real feel is gonna be like 105 or something crazy like that. So that's why we're taking the time to discuss it. Fall's cool. I like sitting out on the deck with that fire going. That first night it gets in the upper 40s, as long as it's not windy. And you have a couple of dark beers or whatever, maybe some bourbon. That's cool, like I said, for 4 days. And then I'm over it, and then it can just go back to summer.
Yeah. And luckily you live in a state that only has consistent weather for like 3-4 days. So at that point.
Yeah, so DMAP Zoom. Michigan weather has a mind of its own. Go ahead, guys. Fire them off. Fire off all the cliche. Just wait 20 minutes. It'll change.
You see enough of those.
Yeah, get them all out of your system. But, yeah, the humidity is what gets you, though. And, that's something where I'm still a big guy at heart, Spence, so I feel you.
Okay.
I do.
Appreciate that.
I've fought those battles,
My
man.
neighbor's got a pretty sick pool, though, so I just go over there and jump in the pool.
I think we're going to slide over to the parents' house. Hey, what's going on?
Yeah.
Hey, is the pool clean? Yeah? All right, hey, we're going to come over. Is that cool? That's the way to do it, though. The
That's
whole
how
pool
you
thing.
survive.
Yeah, and you don't have to deal with it.
No.
Somebody else deals with it.
It's my neighbors, and I helped them jackhammer out all the concrete when they redid the concrete, so I have unlimited use to that pool.
Yeah, you got some tricks
by
up.
the owner.
Yeah. So. No, for sure. You got some tricks up your sleeve.
I told them, because they don't live there anymore, they live in Florida, so it's just my friend that lives there. I told him he's going to come back there at 3 a.m. I'm going to be backstroking naked in that pool, and there's nothing he can do about it.
But you're powerless to stop that.
Yes, exactly.
He wouldn't dare.
What's he going to do, call the cops? Cops are going to be like, this guy's living life.
He's living his best life. Speaking of living their best life, when we come back, Antoine Hoppenot will join us here in studio. We'll talk some Detroit City FC. I want to talk about fatherhood and all that stuff with Antoine as well. Hey, Jeff, you got some of the most luscious hair in the game.
I do. I got a humble brag. And I also got to tell you guys about how hot it is outside. So you need to get yourselves over to Lady Jane's because, as you know, we broadcast live from the headquarters of Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. And it is awesome for myself, anybody working at Woodward Sports, to get off the air, go sit in one of the chairs. The ladies will take care of you. And by the time you walk out, you're fresh, you're clean, you're ready to start the day. So get to Lady Jane's 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime because it's wicked awesome.
He's going deep, right side. Oh, that is Edwards out there. He goes up in the air at the goal line.
Hey, it's Brandon Edwards here, wanting to welcome the sports marketing agency to Woodward Sports Network, to the family. Glad to have you guys. For the last decade, the sports marketing agency has literally leveraged athletes around issues such as mental health and substance abuse.
Glad that we can finally start trying to get the stigma off of mental health that's been there for all these years.
You don't have to go to the beach, man. You don't have to get your butt crack full of sand. You just need a little chili peppers, man, to get that glowing beach chili peppers tan. Woo!
With 26 locations in the Metro Detroit area and more coming, Chili Peppers Tanning is where you'll find the cleanest salons in the D. Join the Pepper Club for the best deals on unlimited tanning. Head to chilipepperstanning.com.
You just need a little chili peppers, man.
Off and running, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Neal, Ruhl, Jeff Iafrate in for D-Max, Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter as well. But as we said, it is a Detroit City Wednesday here on Big D Energy. This is a big Detroit City FC room here at Woodward Sports. We welcome in our guy, Antoine Hoppenot is back in the fold here. And Antoine, look, let's just get it out of the way. Yeah, we're going to talk soccer. Yeah, we're going to talk fatherhood. We're going to talk about all that stuff. But the pressing issue, Antoine, well, we're here, we're attached to the global headquarters of Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men here. No bigger haircut in Detroit right now than the one you got. Discuss.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, it's really hot outside, and I became a father. So the joke I've been making, obviously, is, if I'm walking around with a mullet and a baby, the baby gets taken away. So one of them had to go, and it ended up being the mullet because it was the easiest one.
Antoine Hoppenot joining the show. So you did this again because you're a dad, and you're attacking that kind of dad facade. You're gonna start wearing the white Skechers and things like that too.
Yeah, that's I've been getting a lot of jokes from my friends where they send me white Skechers and all that stuff because I'm turning into a dad. So
well, you need one for mowing the lawn. You need one pair for mowing the lawn and one for walking around town.
Yeah, apparently I'm a shoeless lawnmower, which apparently is a dangerous game. So I think I need to get some Skechers for the mowing the lawn.
He's living on the edge.
He
As
is
a dad now.
He is.
I love it.
But Antoine, it just and obviously you guys have the huge match coming up this Saturday on national television on ESPN. El Paso in town, the noon kick. There are very, very, very limited tickets remaining. The VIP sections, the suites, everything like that, long since sold out. A couple of general admission tickets left for that. But before we do get into that, Jeff, I know you wanted to talk about the match Saturday against Sacramento. Electric crowd, as always, over 7,000 in the house. And Antoine, for me, it's something that sometimes I feel general sports fans, we kind of miss from time to time. It can't be your A game every single week, or there will be no A game, right? I mean, is that fair, or what? Am I making excuses? What am I doing here?
I mean, yeah, you're making excuses.
Okay.
But, yeah, obviously we want to play better, and I think we all year we've been playing better. But this happens, and it's all about how you react. And I think the guys know we've had a lot of conversations, and guys are positive. Guys are ready for the next one, and I think there's going to be a really big response on Saturday. And I think what we really want to do is bring a little bit more energy. I thought, as a team we were a little low energy on Saturday, and that's not our game. So if we can bring the energy, then the rest of it kind of comes behind it.
Yeah, and just to kind of piggyback off Neal's question about that Sacramento game, we understand the West is tough. And with the loss to Sacramento, what did that, just kind of piggyback, what did that teach you guys as a team now, being removed from that loss?
Yeah, I mean, especially the Sacramentos and even the El Pasos and these Western teams now have a lot of pros. These guys have been around the league for a while. The guys have been, getting paid to play soccer for a while, and they know what it takes to win games. Sacramento had a great game plan. They scored their goal, and then they just sat back, and they were like, hey, you guys are going to have to score now. They're going to make it as hard as possible, which they did a great job of. They were super organized. They have a great coach who knew exactly how to get a result here at Keyworth, which is very hard to do.
Yeah.
Talking with Antoine Hoppenot here on Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Neal, Ruhl, Jeff Iafrate. And the YouTube chat right now is alive, Antoine, and people are feeling you. Chuck Brewer says that's the best answer ever as to why you cut your hair. Rack says that's solid logic. I can respect the decision now. Nike Air Monarchs are getting a lot of suggestions there, too. If you don't want to go the Skechers route, you can do the classic dad shoe, the Nike Air Monarch. You need white Nikes and high socks, though. People are telling you that, too, okay? So have that locked and loaded and ready to go.
Yeah, I'll be on Amazon right after this.
You can do it now on the phone, if you want to. But yeah, professional sports, it happens. You guys move on to the next. That's just the nature of the beast. You have to have short memories. But let's get into it though. This Saturday, El Paso in town, national television, ESPN, USL first ever. ESPN linear national television broadcast. It's here in Hamtramck. It's Detroit City FC. You've been in every scenario in soccer. You've played nearly 70 matches in the MLS. You've been at every level of soccer. Is the juice still going to get going a little bit though on Saturday, a little more than normal? Be honest.
To be honest, the juice gets going every game. I still get nervous before any game. I think it's important to. I care about winning a lot, and any game that we get to play, I want to win. Obviously, being on ESPN is going to be an incredible experience, but it doesn't really change too much of our game day routine or anything like that, where it ends up just being another game, and we just got to go out there and play.
And I want to take another route here. Now, I want to kind of do a recap of the season in general. So we have 14 matches played. And for me, I want to play a game with you. Give me one word to describe how it's been for you guys through the entirety of the season so far, through the ups and downs. One word for me.
On the spot.
On the spot. On the spot.
One word. I'm not a one-word guy.
2-3 words. Give me a couple words then. I'll give you some slack.
Yeah. Hey, he's putting him on the spot a little bit. I like it though, man.
Yeah.
I think together. I mean, the word together has been kind of our unofficial motto. We're a team. Everyone plays. We're a locker room that really gets along.
Yeah.
There's no one in there that thinks they're above the team, and it's really important for that to happen, because that's the only way we're going to be successful. No one's good enough to not work hard. No one's good enough to be above the locker room. And I think Trevor James, has done a great job, creating that, fostering that environment in that locker room. And honestly, it's we can only do it together. One guy's not going to win us the game.
Right.
It can only happen as a team.
I love it.
Antoine Hoppenot, our guest here, Big D Energy, Neal, Ruhl, Jeff Iafrate. And Antoine, we do this thing where at the end of the shows, we, if it's Darren McCarty today, they're doing it. We ask people questions, so our audience kind of jumps into that. And Rack has an Ask Hoppenot question. He says, Antoine, I thought I read somewhere that you're contemplating retirement soon. Any truth to that? And again, that story came out in the Detroit News where you were contemplating retirement and stuff like that. And you said the reason you came to play here was strictly because of the environment. You said, I could go somewhere, not play in front of fans and stuff like that, and I'd rather not do that. I'm summing it up here. He said, essentially, though, I want to go play where there's some buzz, where there's some stuff going on. That's why you're here, right? Like, that's why you're still – is that why you're still playing the game?
Yeah, absolutely. I think and again, credit to my wife who, we bought a house in Louisville. We thought we were going to be there playing in front of those fans. And, things happen in professional sports, obviously, and got to sell the house, 4.5 months pregnant. And, the decision is hard, trying to convince your 4.5-month pregnant wife to keep playing, when the opportunity to go home is there, go back to Philly where she's from. She's got family. We can have our daughter there and have her family help. So, it's got to be worth it. And I'm not going to go and play for a team that has 500,000, 2,000 fans in the stands, because it doesn't make sense. It doesn't get the juices flowing anymore. At 31, it has to make sense. It has to be emotionally worth it.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Antoine, just kind of we're piggybacking on the story that was in the Detroit News. You can go back there and read that really good deep dive. Even I learned some stuff in there. You played youth basketball against Kyrie Irving. Is that true?
Yeah, back in the day, he was I think he was I was a senior, and he was like a freshman in Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
So he was obviously scoring like 1,000 points in his freshman year, and then moved on to like the bigger the St. Joe's and the St. Pat's and the St. Benedict's, or one of those. But yeah, he was playing. He was like really young and crushing it.
Yeah. Did you give him any work? Do you get any buckets on him or anything?
Yeah, no, absolutely not.
That was his opportunity to be like, yeah.
Well, I didn't see Kyrie playing in the MLS either, so I guess
exactly.
that worked out. I guess that worked out for everybody.
I would have given him the work on the soccer field,
Oh, absolutely.
I like it though. I did have kind of a follow-up though question to you about that story, because you've come in here a couple times now. You and I have done some media stuff in the past and all that. You're very open and you're very forthright and you're very honest about everything. You seem to have a supreme, I don't want to say confidence. Obviously, you're confident. You seem very content as a person. And time to time in life, you come across people like that that are just, they seem content. You seem content. I mean, when you look back on it right now with the way you are, especially with the way you are on the pitch, I've said this to you before. I never have to wonder what you're thinking out there. I never have to, your body language, your actions, everything like that. You lay it out on the line like that. Are you able to do that because you're so content in your life?
Yeah, I mean, I guess. I think it's just kind of who I am. I think, obviously, it's growing pains, and throughout my life, there's been, things that happen, and you just kind of keep going. And it's, you live in the now, you live in the moment. There's nothing else. Kind of this philosophy that I've kind of recently been trying to live, where, it's just like every moment matters, and as long as you're happy with the moment that's happening, you just keep going.
Absolutely. So what's it going to take? Obviously, you guys off to a great start. You're contenders in the Eastern Conference. But we're only a third. Believe it or not, we're only about a third of the way through this. I mean, this season is just such a monster. And I think even for me, that's worked for the team, for a while now, going back to, I think, 2015-ish, around there. It's just, you look at the games keep coming and the calendar doesn't seem to be going anywhere. And then you look down the road and you see this goes till October. I mean, this is a monster. And I talk with Trevor James for the television production meetings every week, and he goes, because the roster runs a little thinner than a lot of other rosters that are out there. But but you guys, through it all though, hamstring tweaks for you, injuries to other guys. I mean, through it all, the heart just keeps beating. Everything just keeps moving along. What's it going to take, Antoine, to finish this thing off? Because if you guys make the playoffs, I think that's an incredible achievement. If you guys are in the upper half of the Eastern, going back, looking 2 years ago, from what this team was to what they are now. If you finish in the top 4 of the Eastern Conference, given the names that you guys are up there with right now, I think it would be just absolutely incredible. What's it going to take to make that happen?
I always say the summer months are key, right? This is when the playoff rankings are made. You have to have a good summer. Games at 12 o'clock against El Paso. Those games are going to be important. Those 3 points are going to be important. So that's what it takes. It takes a good summer. You have a good summer, and then September, October are easier. The July, August games are the hard ones because it's 100 degrees or it's 90 degrees, and it's kind of tough to go out there and continuously put it out there, and there's not really the end in sight. Once you hit September, October, you see the playoffs. You see it there. Every game, you can tell every game matters because every point matters. You're playing teams that are around you, so the standings are continuously moving. But if we get through the July, August part of the season, that's when it's important. And I think at this point, and you talk about making the playoffs, obviously, in the beginning of the year, maybe that's kind of what our goal was. But at this point now, we want a home playoff game. I think that's the key. Let's get a playoff game in front of these fans, and I can't imagine anything more fun to do than to do that.
Well, you'll get that imagination on Saturday. It's going to be hype in there, as you know. It's going to be unlike anything I think that we've ever seen. Even somebody that's worked for the club for a long time. I mean, we talk about juice. There's going to be some juice going through that place. Antoine, appreciate you, man. Appreciate you walking on in here. Every time we ask you, you come running. I like your perspective on life, and we'll be doing it again.
Yeah, I'm here. I love it.
Absolutely. Antoine Hoppenot, everybody, of Detroit City FC. Saturday, ESPN at noon. They're taking on El Paso in USL Championship play. So roll on out there. Limited tickets. I'll be giving some away coming up in just a little bit. I'll give some tickets away to that. I got the connections to make that happen, Jeff Iafrate. So we'll do it. There is no doubt about that. But when we come back, we got to talk some Detroit Lions. They made a personnel move yesterday, and it ties into a whole Michigan situation. After I remind you, the summer of Cintron is here. Now Cintron available at your local Kroger stores as well. Cintron's a proud partner of Little Caesars Arena, Detroit City FC, the Detroit Tigers, the Detroit Red Wings, and the Detroit Pistons. Cintron, the new energy drink for the active lifestyle. Drink it, live it with Cintron.
New to the game or a season better? OddsTrader.com has everything you need to make the right bet ahead of kickoff. Begin your handicapping journey with OddsTrader. Improve your edge by finding the best price on every game from sportsbooks in your backyard. Take advantage of the numerous sign-up bonus offers to pad your bankroll. Dive into key game statistics, player performance, and even account for the projected game day weather. Best of all, you can use the OddsTrader bet tracker to keep a log of your action. Welcome to OddsTrader, and best of luck.
When you need apparel, there's only one place to go. Big Frog in Novi. With no setup fees, no artwork fees, no minimum, and a 24-hour turnaround, you can have your whole team outfitted in no time. Embroidery, direct-to-garment, vinyl, and screen printing, Big Frog has it all in all the styles you want. So whether it's a sports team, fundraiser, school event, or corporate needs, Big Frog is your one-stop destination. Visit bigfrog.com/Novi or call 844-4-BIG-FROG.
Neal Ruhl here for the Monroe Street Midway. And Bedrock Detroit and Rocket Mortgage have turned an old parking lot into a massive outdoor playground right next to Campus Martius. There's roller skating, basketball courts, a mini golf course, food trucks, big supporter of food trucks, live music performances, and art installations as well. It's a fun place to visit, whether you're on a date, whether you're rocking a sleeveless flannel out in the middle of summertime, you're out with the family, or hanging out before a Tigers game. They've even got Wi-Fi. So you can, sneak out of the office and slide on down to Campus Martius, bring your laptop, get some work done in the heart of the city. It's a Monroe Street Midway in downtown Detroit, brought to you by Bedrock and Rocket Mortgage. Off and running, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal Ruhl, Jeff Iafrate in the house. We got Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter. Big props to my guy Antoine Hoppenot for pulling up on us. Rax says the Columbus Crew game atmosphere was amazing. DB Coop 25, maybe I'll watch soccer for the first time ever this weekend. Yeah, give it a spin. Yeah, absolutely. Give it a spin. Best atmosphere, pound for pound, the best atmosphere in American sports. Certainly the best atmosphere in Detroit sports. That's a fact. You guys have all pulled up on it. You know.
Yeah. You know.
You know.
Gonna see.
We gonna see, absolutely. Detroit Lions made a move.
Oh, no.
They signed Devin Funchess. No. Everybody, let's go crazy.
Okay, and I want to break this down real quickly before we really get into the specifics. With Devin Funchess, this man hasn't played since 2019, and I get it. I'm excited
since that one game in 2019.
I was going to get there. One game in 2019, played for the Colts. Before then, had pretty productive seasons with the Panthers. Obviously, you're excited because, number one, he's a local guy, Metro Detroit native. Played tight end through high school, played tight end a little bit at Michigan, but came out as a receiver. So obviously he has familiarity with playing tight end. I just think people, when they see this, like in my eyes, I look at it like there's more pass catchers for Jared Goff. I'm okay with that. If you look at the tight end depth with the Detroit Lions, it's absolutely atrocious. And if you were here for last season, you watched them, you saw how bad it was when TJ Hawkinson got hurt. I mean, after TJ, you got Brock Wright and James Mitchell coming off a knee injury. Like, it ain't looking good. So the fact that we do have Devin Funchess, it's depth. I like it. Gives you another receiving option at tight end. But again, I wouldn't give your hopes up, Neal. Or not you specifically, but people in general.
Well, good. And look, I know people lost their minds on social media, and we saw like thousands of likes and the obligatory welcome home tweets and stuff like that. But I just want people to temper their expectations with it, because it is a lot, like you said. He played one game in 2019. That's the last time he played NFL. And I know he was on practice squads and things like that. But, this kind of fits the mode of a Brad Holmes signing, right? In the now.
Yeah.
Where there is no
risk.
Yeah, there's no risk whatsoever if it doesn't work out, and it's over.
Yeah. I would argue low risk, potentially high reward. And that's kind of where Brad Holmes has been, that's how he's been operating this offseason. DJ Chark, another one. Re-signing Charles Harris, you got him for a 2-year deal. Like, that's high reward, low risk, only 2 years. So Brad Holmes has been operating. I've never seen a GM operate like Brad Holmes. I mean, in my lifetime, and you've been saying this, Terry's been saying this. So it's amazing to see it. And I like the move. I just think when people, the welcome home, like, this isn't like, it's like
people think Bron's coming back to Cleveland.
I was just going to say that. It's like Bron's going back to Cleveland, but I get it. Just temper your expectations, because we don't even know if he'll officially be on the roster. Guys might not play on a tight end position, but again, I love it.
DMAP Zoom says, "Let's go crazy. One time go." DB Coop 25, just don't call it a Tebow experiment like Easy did. LOL.
He didn't call it that, did he?
He did.
I love Easy, but that's no.
He's saying like he thinks he's just a training camp body kind of guy. He's going to go in there, and I was saying how he played tight end at Michigan, so he was like, yeah, it's kind of like, he instantly backtracked on it. He was like, yeah, that was a little much.
Okay, then yeah, he's fine. As long as he acknowledged it, because when you look at it initially, Tebow, that's a body. Like, Funchess is a body, but he could end up making the roster and playing.
Yeah, Funchess has done it before. He's played tight end at a high level. He's played in the NFL at, a pass catcher spot at a high level. So,
right.
It's not Tim Tebow at all.
And I think, and you guys, look, I'm extremely confident in our audience here for the most part. I'm extremely confident in our audience, and you guys are coming through for me here on the YouTube chat thread. Tom Sloan says, I would be surprised if he makes the roster. He's a China doll.
Surprised if he makes the roster, like Brock Wright, James Mitchell.
Yes,
he's better than those guys. I get it's been years, but
where are you at with it then, Jeff? Where are you with he played one game since 2019, and now it's a lock to make the roster.
No,
Jeff,
not a lock.
I
don't like he's a China doll, like he's a body at camp. That opinion I don't agree with. But I think
so. He's going to be here. How many passes is he going to catch this year?
I don't know. I think he'll see some time. I wouldn't doubt it. I think for a guy who's played at a high level, I get it's been 2-3 years. He didn't play the COVID year, and he hasn't been on a roster really since. But definitely, I wouldn't just call him a China doll.
And with me, we all know, Detroit guy, Michigan guy. We saw, Joik, when Joik played for the Lions, when he scored, he did that. Imagine Devin Funchess catching a touchdown, hitting the Blade Icewood over there. That would be so awesome to see. The fans would go crazy. I hope he makes the roster. It's good for him. Good for him to be back home. Good for him to get another opportunity. I'm excited for him.
Yeah, and there is a lot of sentiment of that MSU Detroit fan. Prove a deal, basically, although probably won't make the Week 1 roster. Lewis M says, I don't want to see any big name signings right now. Big names mean big money, and we don't need that. And Lewis, I think you and I are on the same wavelength, but the reason I'm on that wavelength is I'm going off of what I'm seeing from Brad Holmes, is there aren't long-term big money deals being signed, and I'm going back to it. It's because we're not to that exit on the highway yet. We're not. I know everyone wants to go. I know. And we got a little bit of that here on the shows. You do shows across the platforms. Yeah. I'm sure you see it as well, where people were lock, stock, and ready to go, man. Let's go out there. Let's sign all these guys and stuff like that. Again, this is my statement on Brad Holmes. Yesterday on Twitter, yesterday on the show, 2 weeks ago on the show, tomorrow on the show, next week on the show. This is the sign that it's different. This is the sign that it's different.
Absolutely.
Trey Flowers isn't in here for $55 million. I love it. I love it.
I love it too. I love a GM that actually operates at a professional level and can operate like the other, great organizations in the NFL. So I can respect that. And I respect the high. I wouldn't call this, high upside, but there's definitely some upside. Like, this is a guy that can come in and contribute. I'm not going to sit here and say he won't. I just want people to understand that there's a chance he very well just might burn out and not make the roster. But there's always, I love the upside though.
And Sean Murphy's in the chat. He said, your boy Sean Murphy. He said he's a storyline to make Hard Knocks. He has a hometown storyline. I'm not sure much after that. And that isn't a point. I didn't even think about that, because that would be a big Hard Knocks thing, like Detroit guy coming off injury, ready to play for the Lions. But as you said, yeah, he's done it before. And if he can get back to what he was, he was a red zone threat. He was a red zone weapon with Cam Newton. So if he can get back to that, we all know Hockenson has struggled staying on the field all year. So if we got a guy like this that we can put behind him, or think of a double tight end set in the red zone with Devin Funchess and TJ Hockenson, those are big bodies you could throw out there, throw jump balls to. He's good at that 50-50 ball. So I'm excited. I hope he makes the team. I really do.
And I don't like that thought of signing a guy simply because of Hard Knocks. That makes no sense to me.
Well, Brad Holmes isn't doing that.
No, you're not gonna. I like his storyline. He's from Detroit. No, you're signing a guy for what the fit, what he can be.
We got that from half court beef going right now, baby.
Yeah, Sean, I love you, but I disagree with that one.
Yeah, that's pretty nonsensical. Neal Ruhl, second furnace. If Funchess doesn't make the roster, then who does? And that is an interesting question from my second furnace. I know you have a couple months off, so you have time to contemplate these kinds of things here. You certainly have today off. But when you look at their breakdown positionally of the money, with TJ Hockenson, obviously, $6.5 million. The next highest paid tight end on the roster is Garrett Griffin, and then Brock Wright. And it only gets worse from there. Trust me. There are 7 tight ends on the roster right now. There won't be, obviously, when training camp ends and the season gets ready to go. But I will say this. I'm big on reading tea leaves and things like that. This does make me lean towards them signing Hockenson long term. This move here with Funchess, and I'm not saying he's going to make the roster or anything like that. He's not going to be tight end 2 or anything like that.
Right.
I'm not saying that. This suggests to me that you're taking a shot, a easy shot, nothing that's a big salary commitment or anything like that, but you're taking a shot to see if you have a lower priced option that would allow you to stretch that positional spending, and you could pony up for Hockenson.
Yeah, that's a great point. I mean, the tight end depth is just terrible. I think that's why I like the move. And I went through the, guys behind TJ Hockenson. It's atrocious. I get Brock Wright had some plays, but Brock Wright is not your tight end 2. I'm sorry to break it to you, Lions fans. I'm sorry. And if you look behind him, James Mitchell, I get it. You took him in the draft, but knee injury. Right off a knee injury last year. So Funchess has an opportunity, and I'm not going to sit here and say he's going to be tight end 2, to your point, but certainly see playing time. So I think it goes back to Brad Holmes. He's operating at just a different level, and a level I can appreciate, because to go out and just take a flyer on a guy like Devin Funchess, I can appreciate that, no matter if it works out or not. Just the what happened, just looking at the news itself, I respect it, and I'm good with it.
Devin C. says, Neal, I've been critical of you in the past. Don't take it personally. Okay, I won't. However, your discussion about Detroit's offensive line was your best show you ever did. It was spectacular yesterday. I don't think it was the best one I ever did. I think the points were very good.
Yeah,
I do think that.
Points.
Yeah, David C., I appreciate you, though, tapping into the show. Appreciate you watching it for a very, very long time. I've never been critical of you, though, David C. I will say that. Not that I can remember. But, that's fine. And DB Coop says, what's the worst that can happen? LOL. And no, and right, absolutely. It's one of those things where, but again, that's the summation I go to, where Brad Holmes seems to be a deeper thinker than Matt Millen.
Very calculated.
Wow.
Man.
I will come through with the hard-hitting Detroit sports journalism opinions that other people are scared to give you. And I am telling you guys that Brad Holmes seems to be a deeper thinker as a GM than Matt Millen was. You're not getting that anywhere else in Detroit sports media. Only not. I have the guts to come through and make a statement like that, and that's why you love Big D Energy.
It's true, though. It's the jokes aside, it is true. It's obvious that this guy he's a very calculated man. He knows what he's doing. Being in an organization like the Los Angeles Rams before this, he saw how that was happening. Maybe he was not making these moves. He was more of the scouting guy, but he saw how you build a team like that. He saw how you build a championship roster, and it is impressive to where he's not giving Trey Flowers a 5-year, $90 million contract. He's not signing these guys who are out of their prime, just a Desmond True font. He brings them in. It's different things. He's bringing these guys in on 1-year, 2-year deals. Let's see what you can do. If you show out, good, I'll sign you again. If not, see you later. You're gone. It's over. And that's what I like. That's what you have to do, especially in the midst of a rebuild. It's very important to do stuff like that.
Scott Klingler says, come on now. To get a Michigan player, I don't care what his previous stats are. I'm looking at he took a couple years off and got right. Am I wrong, Neal? Well, yeah, because you have no evidence to say he got right. He's played 1 game since 2019. All the other stuff you said is true, but the last part of that was inherently false. It was. But I like Brad Holmes because the salary cap and the draft capital. He's a guardian.
He's a guardian alarm. Great at making a defense, forming a defense. And I'll tell you another part of this defense that is so spectacular. It's guardian alarm. Guardian alarm keeps you safe. It gives you peace of mind. Whether you're at home or on the road, they got 24/7 local monitoring that makes sure what is important to you is safe. Call 1-800-STAY-OUT for peace of mind. I repeat, call 1-800-STAY-OUT right now and let them know Woodward Sports sent you.
Hi, my diamonds. It's Crystal with an X. You want to get hot and perfect like me? Here's my super easy routine. Drink at least a gallon of water before you wake up. Attach a weight to everything in your house. Hello? Sell your car and just sprint everywhere. Scream when you exhale.
Don't follow Crystal with an X. Do your own thing at Planet Fitness with tons of equipment and free fitness training in our clean and spacious clubs. Join now for just $10 a month and cancel anytime.
It's a great day to get some Centron in your life. Okay. There it is. Centron, here we go.
Gotta grab the cranberry. Oh wait, it's 2 for $4. Gotta double up with the classic as well. Centron World, baby. Centron, available at select Krogers, and if you want to know how, go to @CentronWorld.com. You get dope like me. You know what? Why wait? Great taste, guaranteed.
Deal rules for Chili Peppers Tanning, where you can join the Pepper Club at Chili Peppers Tanning. Get all your unlimited tanning options on. They'll beat all the competitors' prices by at least $5. It's just about a gallon of gas, everybody. That is valuable. Chili Peppers Tanning has the hottest bulbs, the hottest deals, the darkest tans, 26 locations. More on the way. Go to chilipepperstanning.com. Find out which one works best for you. It's Chili Peppers Tanning, everybody.
Chili Peppers Tan.
Back at it here, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Neal, Ruhl, Jeff Iafrate here in the house. We got, I just want to go back to it. Sam Flannel has the sleeveless flannel that we've been talking about.
Yeah.
Was that bought that way, Sam Flannel, or was that modified?
That was modified, actually. I did it the night before the draft party show, so that shows my dedication.
Man, he was ready. He's been waiting for this day.
He was practicing the takes in the mirror, cut the sleeves off, ready to go. Did a quick workout.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I definitely had to get a pump going. I definitely flexed in the mirror a couple of times.
Yeah, a couple times.
Did like the double flex, the single flex, and, you know, my fiance said she liked it. It said I was looking pretty jacked. So that's the best confidence that can be instilled in a man.
He has been waiting for this moment. There's vomit on his flannel already. Mom spaghetti.
Yeah.
Like he was ready to go for this.
I had the 8 Mile soundtrack going on my way here, actually.
Spencer, do you want a moment in your life as defining as sleeveless flannel day for Sam Flannel on a 100-degree day?
I can only pray that I'll have an opportunity like that to be able to unleash my inner sleeveless flannel.
Yeah, and that's, you know, people have asked me, like, what's a favorite part of your job? Like when I'm calling a game and the producer's counting down, 30 seconds till we go on air, and the bigger games, like when I've called NBA games and stuff like that. It's like huge moments for me personally. Mm-hmm. Pale in comparison to Sam Flannel. This day today.
Yes.
The 105 heat index. He's had this flannel modified since draft day. It's been about this moment today, and damn it, here we are.
And he delivered. It's awesome.
He did deliver.
Unlike, Michigan. But, he came out there and he delivered.
Jack Harrington says Crystal with an X equals Adam's love child. I don't know that I can confirm that or deny that. MSU Detroit fan, Trey Flowers contract, stay out. So,
Yes.
So, yeah, it's one of those things. CJ Schneider says that statement wasn't inherently false. It's speculation. No, CJ, it's math. He's played one game since 2019.
Yeah, that's
math.
facts. Like that's facts. Like that's not.
So you can't say he quote got right.
Yeah, no one really knows what he's been doing. And he's been, I'm sure he's been active. He's been working out, but again, like almost 3 years.
People calling it a Hulk flannel right now. Scott Klingler says, let's win some DCFC tickets. Hey, Scott, you know what? You've won. You've won a 4-pack.
Bam.
There you go. I like it. Just because of your energy, man. Scott Klingler, you've won a 4-pack. So here's what I'll need to do, Scott. I don't know if you have social media. Just reach out to me and DM me and give me your email address, and I'll get you set up. I'll get you 4 tickets to this Saturday's game. So roll on out there and get it in. It'll be hype. See, there you go. AC says Sam is the real bad take Easy.
No, I honestly think that he should leave my boy Easy alone, and neither of us are bad take artists. I actually like it when Easy's on the show. I think we have some good chemistry. I know Spencer and Easy do a great job on heavyweights. Easy's my guy. I'm going to defend my guy and myself. But you can call me Bad Take Easy, Bad Take Sam if you want.
That's coming from a guy who was pimp slapped yesterday
by Easy.
So that's big time. That's big time.
Is this true?
Yes.
Do we have footage?
On show.
You didn't see it?
No.
Yeah, Easy walked in there and slapped him in the back of the head.
Right after
when he was talking about the DMAC rings.
Oh, you said I thought like he went backhand across the cheek or whatever.
It was backhand, but Sam wasn't looking at him directly.
Austin Harris wants to know, Sam Flannel, you're working out at Planet Fitness.
Absolutely I am. I can't come into this show with a sleeveless flannel, not not looking my best. So I've been like every day just getting it in as much as I can. Because, you know, in my opinion, this is just maybe a hot take. In order to like let the guns go out, you need to like actually have them. And I'm far away from where I want to be, but still, I finally felt I was at the moment where I could just let them breathe.
Beautiful.
Neal, you're working out. You see Sam Flannel in a flannel on the bench. What do you think?
Well, here's the deal is, speaking of, and you guys know I work out at Planet Fitness here in Troy.
Yeah.
And the manager of the place, Matt, he and I chop it up about sports quite a bit. They put the show on the TVs there at Planet Fitness, which is kind of cool.
That's sweet.
We chop it up about sports quite a bit. And he said, Sam Flannel, you've been in that location before, so your reputation precedes you.
Yes, I did. I went in there, I got a couple workouts in, and I took some pictures with some of the employees and put it on my Instagram to just kind of promote the station. So I had a good time. It's really nice. I mean, you know, it is a really nice and clean Planet Fitness. I love it.
I think it's the best one. It's the best one in the game. And I'm just, you know, Matt's my guy. I appreciate the effort they have and everything like that. Shameless plug. All right, move it live from the Planet Fitness studios here on Big D Energy. Just want you all to know that. Another Lions story I did want to touch on. Antoine Randle came out, spoke very highly of DJ Chark, Jameson Williams as well. And I think the quote was, when you turn on the film, it's like you see different routes he can run, just about every route in the tree he can run, Randle explained. But then you saw the speed and explosiveness that he had running down the field. Then after he caught the ball running away from guys, that's the thing that kind of excites you. But then the other thing that excites you as well is him snagging the ball. Like he gets his head around late when the ball's thrown early, and he'll just pluck it. And that was, again, talking about DJ Chark. You know, how much, for real, like how much are people expecting? And for me, there are two different answers. And you guys know how I work with this. When you're getting $10 million, when you're getting 5% of an NFL salary cap,
show us.
I defer to Rick Ross.
It's about the show us.
No, and it is where I'll be real. Like, I expect a lot.
Yeah.
Now, and I understand, too, Chark's betting on himself a lot in signing this deal,
Big time.
bet. Yeah, I bet he's betting a lot on himself. But when you start getting in those double-digit millions, you do need to show us.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, obviously, no risk in this deal, 1 year. But just to talk about the fit, and in the article right there, they mentioned it, snagging the ball out of the air. And that's the most important, the speed, and that's the big difference. If you want to help Jared Goff have a career year, and you've seen Ben Johnson speak about that, you need variety in your offense, and that's something they lacked last year. They really only had Amon-Ra St. Brown, Khalif Raymond, Josh Reynolds. They didn't have TJ for a majority of the year. Now with Jameson Williams and DJ Chark, you now know you have two guys that can take the top off defenses, open up the playbook a little more on offense. So defense has to cover the entire field, not just intermediate. And I get Jared Goff. Everybody likes to say, Jared Goff can't throw deep balls. We're going to find out. And
we gonna see.
We gonna see.
Yeah.
And you saw the quote of him talking about snagging the ball out of the air. If he can do it, he'll do it. And I think that's the biggest thing for me. I mean, it's seeing how they commit to the run, especially with these two guys, because off-play action, you're going to have DJ Chark free. You're going to have Jameson Williams, when he's back healthy, open, free. So as long as everybody can stay healthy, offensively, I think they're going to be a scrappy team. I wouldn't say, Chark gets 1,000, Jameson gets 1,000, like Oprah, 1,000 for you, 1,000 for you. But again, I think it's definitely something to be excited about.
And I think what the audience is waiting on is to hear Sam Flannel's take on DJ Chark. Because Sam Flannel, let's recap everyone before we go to him, has Aiden Hutchinson penciled in for Defensive Rookie of the Year for the National Football League. Has him penciled in for 12-plus sacks this season. Has DeAndre Swift penciled in to lead the NFC in rushing. But at the same time has a Lions pegged to be an 8-win football team. But whatever, I digress. We'll put the puzzle pieces on that together at a later show. But Sam Flannel, DJ Chark, give me the numbers.
DJ Chark, I think his numbers aren't gonna be what they were in Jacksonville when he was in his prime and he made the Pro Bowl and had a 1,000-yard season, because the Lions actually have a lot of weapons. But he's gonna be a guy who can stretch the field, make a few big plays throughout the game. He's the type of guy that I could see having a lot of games, like 3 catches for 52 yards and a touchdown, maybe 2 catches for 37 yards, something like that. So I expect his numbers, receptions in the 50s, yards in the 700 or 800s, a couple big plays a game, a couple of plays that he might win you a game just being DJ Chark, being that stretch the field wide receiver. Those are my expectations. I don't think they're too high. And I actually think if he doesn't hit that, it's a disappointment.
Is he wide receiver 1?
No. It's weird because he's actually that big, tall wide receiver that the Lions desperately need. But I think wide receiver number 1 will be Amon-Ra St. Brown, even though he's not your traditional. He's more of, I think of him more as a slot guy because, what did he average? Like 10 yards a catch last year?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's still going to be Amon-Ra. I could see Amon-Ra, 90 more, 100 catches. He's going to have a big season.
Interesting. So, as usual, Sam Flannel brings electricity to the YouTube chat thread. DB Coop says no Sam Flannel. He slandered D-Mac. I don't know. Slander, I think, is a bit aggressive.
Yeah, he didn't slander him.
Yeah, I think that's in terms a bit aggressive. YT Sparty says 12 plus sacks. I want what Sam Flannel is smoking. Chuck Brewer says, what, 2,000 yards, Sam? How many yards? You said. And somebody's saying, Coke says, the only way Swift's got a shot at being the leading rusher in the NFC North is if Cook's hurt. No, he says leading rusher in the NFC, period. So give me the yard to, 1,600, 1,700?
Yeah.
I think DeAndre Swift will lead the NFC in rushing with about 1,200 yards. Because there is a chance that Dalvin Cook has shown a propensity to get hurt. And I've already gone through all the other running backs and why they're not going to get it. Antonio Gibson's another one that kind of scares me. Maybe Miles Sanders because Philadelphia also has a great offensive line. But DeAndre Swift, it's not a running league anymore. I think he could get like 1,210, and he's also going to be behind guys like Mixon, Henry, Jonathan Taylor, Najee Harris, Nick Chubb in the AFC. It's going to take about 1,200 yards. You guys see, I cannot wait till the end of the year.
Yeah, Sam Flannel's drawing lines in the sand. He's out here slandering 4-time Stanley Cup champions. He's pointing at the camera like belittling you, like putting you in your place. I love the confidence of this man.
Me too.
I love the confidence of this man.
No survivors with Sam Flannel, man. I love it. No survivors.
Tammy Chin says, I'm excited to do a signing with Chark, Sewell, and Oruwariye at an upcoming autograph signing. And, hey, guys, I'm telling you, load up on the Sewell autographs, man, because
they'll be worthwhile.
I want to get a gold jacket signed by Sewell now, like Hall of Fame question.
And the date.
Yeah,
he signed it because you're early on it. I'll tell you that.
I'm all the way in on this guy because again, he's my cornerstone. Like when we talked about cornerstones of the franchise, he's my cornerstone.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he's the guy that's going to make it such. That's going to bring it to existence. A lot like Strawberry Fest is already in existence at your local Big Boy. We will be a Big Boy in Taylor on Friday. That's right. We're taking the show down river, everybody. Spencer Raxter will be back here in the studio, however, so the strawberry waffles are a little bit safer than they might have been if Spencer was going to be there. But don't worry. That just means that there'll be more available for you. The strawberry French toast, the strawberry pancakes, all those in play. Not a breakfast person? No problem. Try the strawberry bacon chicken wrap. I might be giving that one a run. The crispy chicken wrap, the nacho wrap, or the strawberry salad. The perfect recipe for springtime. And don't forget about dessert. Let's be real. Big Boy Corporate probably doesn't want me to tell you this, but it doesn't make it not true. It's about the strawberry pie. What are we talking about here? The strawberry pie, which is only $1.99 when you spend $7.99 or more at participating Big Boy locations. It's Strawberry Fest, people. Act accordingly.
3 NBA championships. Detroit fans were there. 11 Stanley Cups. Detroit fans were there. 4 World Series wins. Detroit fans were there. And that one Lions playoff win in 1991. Yeah, Detroit fans were there. Woodward Sports, where the fans are.
Fellas, let's be honest. We like things to be easy. We like simple stuff, like sports 7 days a week. We like things uncomplicated, like Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Sign in, sit down, watch your favorite team play. And before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome. Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device. Pulling up on the second hour of the show, Big D Energy, Neal, Ruhl, Jeff Iafrate. We got Sam Flannel. We got Spencer Raxter. The squad is up in here. YT Sparty. I think Sam had some D-Max edibles. D. Smitty, Sam Flannel slandered Ben Wallace. Yeah, that is true.
Hey, that is true.
Jeff Iafrate's fighting back.
I'll let that one slide. But the D-Mac, he didn't slander D-Mac. I'll give you some credit.
I was joking about you did not slander. You did slander Ben Wallace, though. Are you comfortable with that?
Yes, I am comfortable with that. And I know in the city of Detroit, that'll make me public enemy number one. And it did on Twitter and Instagram. I know.
I know, and I loved it. But hey, you're still standing, man. You're still standing. And, for me, just wrapping up this discussion, DB Coop, Lions will win 10 to 12 games this season. Take it down now, Neal. You can bring me on the show when it comes to fruition. I think we're a year from that, guys. Just, again, because of the financial cleanup that is still in place.
That's what always worries me, too. When those expectations, the 10, the 12, once you start creeping past 10, Stick was kind of that guy last season. And he said 8-9. He was close. Those people are going to get disappointed, I feel like. This team should win minimum 7, but to say they're going to win more than 10, that's a stretch. With DJ Chark as your big signing, your 1 year, $10 million.
At LaDuff's Cadillac on Twitter says, wide receiver 1 is a position. If St. Brown is a leading receiver, he's still the slot guy. He's not wide receiver 1. No question. And I get what you're saying. It's one of those things where I think Chark's got to have those numbers, man. For me, again, $10 million, dude. Like, that's what it is. I didn't make it up.
Right.
Like, that's what those numbers are. And again, I think he took the deal to bet on himself a bit. I think both things can be true. So, it is. It's just one of those things. There was JGB wanted to say, do you guys expect the wide receiver leading in receiving yards will also lead the team in touchdowns? I don't think that. I think that your main touchdown guy, as wild as this seems, and I know who really hopes that I'm right, is TJ Hawkinson. Because that's the element to the game.
Should be.
That's got to be there if you want that north of $15 million payday. You have to. I think for him to be paid at that level, he has to be in that 8+ touchdown range.
I was going to say close to 10. So perfect, right on the dot.
8+, like Sam Flannel says with Hutchinson sacks, 12+. He has to. And that's not, and guys, they do play this game for money. They do. I do this job for money. Like, we're all here for money. I understand that with Hawkinson, where people have talked about contracts and options and long-term deals and stuff like that. No one knows that more than TJ Hawkinson.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think when you're talking about the tight end market and getting paid accordingly, guys like David Njoku, who just got an enormous contract, you either have to be getting 1,400 yards a season, or if not, getting close to or getting double-digit touchdowns. So if TJ can check one of those off, sign him. But you can't give me 800 and 4 or 5 touchdowns. Like, I just can't. That's not, top tier tight end money.
That's mid.
That's mid. It's a perfect way to say it.
Yeah, I know. That's why mid. I love that word.
I know. It is mid. Like, if Tunyon was injured last year, but the year prior he had like 900 yards and 13 touchdowns.
Yeah, that was not mid.
That's not mid. Like, he got 10+ touchdowns. So got to give me one or the other.
Yeah. So David E. Walker, how's Devin Funchess going to look on the Lions roster towards the bottom of tight end salary? That's how it's going to look. But that's part of the appeal,
right?
Because it does set you up if you do decide that TJ Hawkinson is your play long term. Then that's the way you do it. I did want to touch on this because you guys are going to laugh at this when I say this, but it did. And Spencer, I'm curious to get your thoughts on this. Erik Bakich, the baseball coach at Michigan, he's the baseball coach at Michigan. I know there are a lot of Michigan baseball fans out there, at least when they play in a regional. The season is longer than 3 days, though, guys. It is. It starts all the way back in February. But Bakich has done a great job with the Michigan baseball program. You can't deny that. yesterday it was reported and later confirmed that Bakich is leaving Michigan for Clemson. And Michigan fans went Michigan fans on it. And just to give everybody kind of the lay of the land, Bakich was making about $800,000 a year at Michigan. Clemson AD Graham Neff said he was going to, quote, invest big in the next coach, which means Clemson's paying 7 figures. If you got a guy at Michigan making $800,000, you're paying 7 figures to get him to come over.
Right.
And Michigan fan had they had the classic Michigan, what I think, mentality. Joe Allen on Twitter said, unreal. This absolutely gut punches a program. Shame on Michigan for letting him walk out, and disappointment in him leaving as well. The program was working its way up to an elite level, and the bottom just dropped out. F me.
I think MC's response is underrated. Relax, Joe. We're in the Big Ten. It's a mid-major.
It's mid, and I want everybody to understand that. And this Joe Allen guy was on one. He said, seriously, you're on the verge of pushing your program to a height it hasn't been in decades, and you let him go. GTFO and call me when Michigan grows some balls like it used to have. But I think that thought is true. And look, I know Michigan baseball fans, the 300 of you that go to the games, but when media puts it out there, when they're in a regional and it gets 2,000 likes and stuff like that with all the Go Blue responses and all that stuff, you guys might not know how this works. So I want to help educate you a little bit. The Big Ten is mid when it comes to baseball. I would argue it's been that way for basketball and football for a while, but that's a different discussion we'll have for a different day. They are very mid when it comes to baseball. And guess what? An ACC or an SEC program where they play big boy baseball, where it's real, they take it very seriously down there. And they will pay a baseball coach 7 figures if they believe that's the guy that's going to set their program apart, because it is disappointing, to the Michigan fans, I'm sure. But I do want to run a Twitter poll. We got time for a Twitter poll here.
For sure.
Are you Michigan fans upset that Bakich is leaving Clemson for over 7 figures?
I can't wait to see the answers.
Are Michigan fans upset? Do you want to do a preference to it? Do Michigan fans know who Erik Bakich was?
That's the more interesting poll.
That is a more interesting poll, but I'll digress. Michigan fans, are you upset that your baseball coach is leaving? Because about 300 of you go to the games. But when regionals roll around, Michigan fans' baseball season, it was 3 days for them this year, and I'm sad for that.
Yeah, and we got a Michigan fan in the studio. So, Sam, answer the question, I guess. And Neal just asked, number 1, do you know who he is? And number 2, are you sad he's leaving for probably over $1 million?
Well, of course I know who he is, because he's actually done a really good job. They got second. They lost to Vanderbilt in the College World Series a couple of years ago. But as far as am I upset, of course I'm not upset, because Michigan really is the Big Ten really is a mid-major baseball program. I think I read somewhere they haven't had a national champion since 1966. All of the national championships are from like the ACC, the SEC, even from out west like the Pac-10, and even schools like Pepperdine and Cal State Fullerton. And honestly, when you're a Big Ten school, you have a disadvantage. The season's in like March, April. The weather is usually very cold. So if you're a great baseball coach, you want to go somewhere where you can win national championships, where you can play a full season. And I don't blame him at all. Clemson's an elite program. They've been to a lot of College World Series. They've had some MLB players. Do your thing, man. For real.
Yeah. More money, better weather, and a better school. In terms of baseball, I'll take it.
Yeah, and there's rumors, too. Sticks guy at Orchard Lake St. Mary, Brock Porter, the pitcher, if he doesn't declare for the draft, which he will be the first pitcher taken in the Major League Baseball draft, there are rumblings that he will end up going to Clemson. And that's where it's real. And I have a buddy of mine that played college baseball, and he was, he was considering the MAC schools and things like that in the North, and opted to play Division II down in North Carolina, and said it was the best decision he made because of the competition that even Division II baseball down in the South hits different than Division I baseball does up here. And, for me, it's just, I wonder, are Michigan fans capable of accepting the fact that their baseball program is mid, because that's what you are when somebody comes and poaches your coach.
Yeah, and I think it sounds like they are, considering the poll results. 75% said no, they're not angry. He's going to Clemson. So I feel like that kind of ties back into what the point you're making. Like, they might already be mentally past now this week it's 71-29. But again, it's if you're voting no, are you voting no because you don't care, or are you voting no because you don't watch Michigan baseball? Like that's an important question I want to know.
Well, and some of them are still hurting because, college baseball season lasted 3 days for them.
Right.
So a little of them are hurting. CJ Schneider says Michigan fans. Literally every fan base does that. Not with baseball in the South, CJ. Not with football in the South.
It's different.
It is. It is different down there.
It's built different.
Yeah. So, that was just a quick question that I had. Were people upset? Are Michigan fans angry Bakich is going to Clemson for a 7-figure salary? And 69% of the people are saying no. And, that's...
Are you surprised?
Yeah, I mean, judging by what I saw on social media yesterday, it was a story last night.
I'm surprised by the poll results. I am. I didn't think it'd be a 70-30 split. Michigan fans apparently not being angry.
Scott Klingler says it's the Big Ten. It should not be mid, and it should be high tier like all the other teams. Jack Harrington says Michigan is mid for football. And CJ says it's not the ACC. It's just the Southern teams in the ACC. Or the ACC, the SEC. It's all the same. DB Coop says I'm voting no because I don't watch. I'll say it. DB Coop's honest at least.
And Austin Harris says I honestly keep forgetting Michigan has a baseball team.
Yeah.
Damn.
Again, people are honest.
Yeah,
and I
respect
appreciate that.
Yeah, I respect that.
We have a changeover in the audio booth right now. The personnel has changed, but the sleeve level has not changed. Sleeveless Adam.
His ethnicity changed as well.
I'm not as tall as this guy. How do I do this? Do I have like a stool?
But hey, a little shorter, but the sleeves are the same height, my friend.
Let's
Appreciate
see a flex.
it. There he is. Let's go. There he is, Adam Beydoun here in the house. I love it, man. I love it. It is a lot of fun. Just like getting your action down on my bookie is a lot of fun. The NBA Finals, the Stanley Cup Finals finally start tonight. Baseball, right, mid-season as well. No better place to get that action in on your favorite teams than with mybookie.com. Sign up for a new account. Use a promo code Woodward. They'll match part of your first deposit. Up to 50% in free bets. So if you think the Tigers are going to turn it around, they look strong again last night, go ahead and bet on them to win the World Series if you want. Again, use a promo code Woodward. Use a free bet for that. Don't use your actual money for that one. That's a pro tip, okay? Again, mention promo code Woodward, and they will match part of your first deposit up to 50% in free bets. Bet on anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie. Have a gambling problem? Call the Michigan Gambling Hotline, 1-800-270-7117.
Make sure you're listening to Woodward Sports all day long. Start your morning with the Morning Woodward Show. Spend middays with Big D Energy. Watch and listen your drive home with the Bottom Line. And don't forget about Woodward Bets Daily. All live, all right here on the Woodward Sports Network.
It took exploring 50 different formulas and hosting countless taste tests, but we believe Gypsy Vodka is the smoothest vodka on the market. Don't believe us? Ask the owners.
We're Mike and Adam Kazanowski with High Five Spirits Distillery. We're in close to about 1,200 locations throughout Michigan. We wanted to create a brand that was geared more towards freedom, love, adventure, and at the end of the day, we really wanted to tell a story that inspired other people to take risks, follow their dreams, whatever that might be.
Get a shot up. This is for the win. All of Detroit's sports teams live on Woodward. All of Detroit's sports coverage lives on Woodward Sports. Driving the best in Detroit sports coverage.
Yeah. All right. Well, you see my sleeves. Sam ran over and with his strength ripped them off of my shirt. So I need new apparel. Big Frog is where I go. They have everything I need with no setup fees, no artwork fees, no minimum. In a 24-hour turnaround, you can have your whole outfitted in no time. Embroidery, direct-to-garment, vinyl, and screen printing, Big Frog has the styles you want. So do me a favor. Visit bigfrog.com/Novi or call 844-4-BIG-FROG. That's bigfrog.com/Novi.
Back at it, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Neal, Ruhl, Jeff Iafrate here in the house. The sleeves are coming off everywhere.
It's infectious. It's infectious what Sam's doing over there in that audio booth, so I appreciate it.
And Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter as well. A YouTube chat thread, Jack Harrington, the devil is in the sound booth. Lions Rumble 81, the devil went down to Woodward. He was looking for an opinion to kill. LOL. So, Adam Beydoun. Hey, Adam, well, hey, you were relieving Sam Flannel for a minute. People were saying that Sam had to duck out because he thought he saw D-Mac walking down the street. So he thought it was going to be a day of reckoning. But people are asking, so I got to ask you. I forget who it is on our YouTube chat thread that wanted to get your take on Devin Funchess. You getting a jersey or no?
If he makes the team, I'll donate 30 cents to everybody in the chat. Like, this is irrelevant.
Cash App it?
Yeah, we opened up the show with it. Who cares? He's nice. He's 28. He hasn't played in 3 years. Was my dick supposed to get hard from Devin Funchess? I mean, come on. What are we doing, guys?
Well, I don't know if you know this or not, but he went to Michigan.
Oh, well, that's probably the reason why. Because, Cade McNamara is a better quarterback than Peyton Thorne.
Hell no.
Shea Patterson was a number 1 overall pick in the USFL draft.
Yeah, how's that work out?
What's he doing now?
Cleaning gutters.
Yeah,
I think he applied for an audio engineer job here at Woodward Sports.
Well, there are a lot of media people that want to work here. I do know that for a fact. I'm just saying.
One day.
Yeah. I'm just saying, people that are teaching me a thing or two about journalistic integrity and things like that. But I digress. So I mean, yeah, that Jack Harrington says Jesus, Adam, LOL.
It's Devin Funchess. What? You drafted a kid who had coming off a torn ACL. These are like irrelevant signings. This isn't a big deal.
Fun fact: his baby mama went to my high school. She's my friend. She's a cool girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is the kid yours or his?
No, it's his.
But you kind of started there a little bit.
It's his. Trust me.
The way I look at it, Adam, and the way I'm digesting it is, yes, it's a low risk, semi-high. I wouldn't even say a high reward, but how I look at it is you can appreciate Brad Holmes and what he's done this offseason. When we talk about this, you talk about with Terry, that these deals he's signing, like there's no risk. Like even if he doesn't make the roster, like you still have a guy that can maybe be better than Brock Wright, maybe James Mitchell, but again, if he doesn't, he doesn't.
I mean, what are we talking about?
Thank you.
We're talking about a GM, realistically, who's done what no GM in Lions history has ever done. Number one, he's addressed the two most important things: the salary cap and the talent. He's drafted talent. You need to be fortunate. That was like a big thing I talked about this morning.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just have to be fortunate. You have to be fortunate enough to work with a guy like this, and you have to be fortunate to get Penei Sewell to fall to you at 7. How would you like it if you picked Jalen Waddle instead at 7, or you had to pick Devontae Smith at 7?
As we reconstruct that too, Adam, I 1,001% believe that under the previous administration, Jalen Waddle would have been the pick.
Not only Jalen Waddle. No, forget. Well, he went 6 technically,
Right.
but what that pick would have been under the previous regime, it would have been Devontae Smith. So they would have gone wide
Devontae
receiver.
Smith, 100%.
And then this past season, under another regime, it would have been Kyle Hamilton. It would have been Malik Willis, or it would have been what's that guy's name? Cole Strange, the first round pick for the Patriots, who was projected to go undrafted. We would have done that, I think, at number 2.
Smartest guys in the room, Adam.
100%.
Oh, God.
So, look, Neal, I want to say you said this. Correct me if I'm wrong. But you said they will win a playoff game under Brad Holmes. And I 1,000% agree. I'd go a step further. I think they will become contenders in the NFC under this guy. And I'll tell you why. You have to. He has a big job to do still. He needs to get the quarterback right, and he needs to get the head coach right. Now, we don't know if the head coach isn't the guy, but we know the quarterback isn't. So we know right now priority 1, get the quarterback in the building. Is Dan Campbell the guy? Well, you're going to find out over the next 12, 14 months. That's going to be a thing. You're going to know. And if he's the guy, great. You're one step closer to becoming a contender. You have 2 out of the 3 things I believe you need in the NFL, which is a quarterback, a head coach, and a GM. Right now, the Lions have 1. Could have 2 in Dan Campbell. Definitely don't have the 3rd in Jared Goff. He's got to address the quarterback. When he does that, if he hits, guys, let's just call it what it is. You give Brad Holmes 12 years of Matthew Stafford. I promise you those 12 years don't work out how they did under the previous regimes.
Absolutely, because, again, it's a financial game. The financial game is 49% of it. The talent is 51% of it, but they go hand in hand.
Flowers.
No,
I was just going to say that.
Like,
he doesn't
think
sign
about
Flowers.
this as we reconstruct this, as you take a look, and this wasn't on the show sheet or anything like that. This is just two dudes having a beer, talking right now. As you reconstruct this stuff, man, Devontae Smith certainly would have been the pick.
Right.
Trey Flowers was on the books. Like, think about this. This is how it's changed. Look at it.
Do you guys believe in you make your own luck? Because that's a big thing for me. I believe
1,000,000%, yes.
I believe you as an individual make your own luck. Who has been more fortunate or lucky than Brad Holmes? Based off of his work that he's put in. Trayvon Walker, #1 overall. Who the hell would have thought that back in January? Thank you, Jacksonville. We got the consensus #1 player on the board.
Right.
The only person that thought he wasn't was Trent Baalke, who thought Trayvon Walker was. Thank you very much, sir. Oh, last season, 3 quarterbacks going 1, 2, and 3 in the draft. Wow. That doesn't often happen. Oh, wait, it never happened before in NFL history. Oh, wait, so you mean Jamar Chase and Kyle Pitts go 4 and 5? Wow, that's a hell of a deal. Oh, wait, you're telling me the Miami Dolphins, who I still think made the right pick, in my opinion, took Jalen Waddle? Well, yeah, I don't blame them. They're trying to figure out if Tua is their quarterback or not. That's fair. Wow, you get Penei Sewell, #7 overall. Probably goes #2 in this past draft. Probably goes 2 in the year prior if it wasn't for quarterbacks.
Yeah.
That's the reality. You need to be fortunate sometimes.
Joseph Austin says, big glass of Kool-Aid coming in hot today. And, no, it's just, I'm just going off of what I see, man. Like, that's it. And Jack Harrington says, they also hype the Tigers. Wrong, Jack. If you say they other than Neal, I can't speak to that. What did I tell you guys opening day? Jamer Candelario is your cleanup hitter. You don't have a chance to be good. What's happened? Like that, it's not tough to figure out, man. Right. Like, look around the league at the rest of the cleanup hitters. And you know what? Hey, I'll take this. I have 4 sentences here on the Tigers. In particular, the game last night. And that's it. And then we're done with the Tigers. I'll take it to the break here. We got about a minute and a half to the break. I'm going to take it to the break here on this. So here's the deal. Last night, and this tells you all you need to know. Like, I'm angling myself here in the seat. Last night, you had your #1 hitter and your #2 hitter lead off an inning with base hits. And in today's day and age of baseball, your #3 hitter stood up there and tried to bunt. And then struck out. That's the level of talent you have on this roster. That's what they tried to do. You can't win with that roster. And Jack, opening day I said it. Jamer Candelario is your cleanup hitter. You can't win. And what's happening? And there's no one coming. So that's it. And yeah, I get pissed off. I do get mad about that. Because there's no one coming to help. And this is what this is going to be now for a while. So, I don't know what to tell you guys. I don't know what to say, because that if you were still on board with they can turn this thing around or they could have a positive end to the season, if that last night didn't take every ounce of that out of you, then I can't help you anymore. We can't help you anymore. You should seek help to help yourself. In today's day and age of baseball, you had the #3 hitter up there with the first 2 guys on and nobody out trying to bunt. That's what it's down to. So, do what you watch at your own peril. You know, I don't know what else to say. We're live at the Planet Fitness Studios here in Woodward, sports home of the Judgment-Free Zone, where you can work out in a non-intimidating, judgment-free atmosphere. Membership starts at just $10 a month, all the way up to the black card option, $24.99 per month, yes, then $1 a day. That will get you unlimited tanning, hydro massage, massage chairs, total body enhancement as well, with access to over 2,000 Planet Fitni around the world with unlimited guest privileges. You can join today in club or online at planetfitness.com. It's Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
6 dark corners, a driveway and a patio, 5 windows that could become doors. Every house has unique security challenges. Guardian Alarm has more tech, more team, and more ways to help keep them all safe. Get a professionally designed and installed security and smart home system from Guardian Alarm. Sign up today and get a free video device. Guardian Alarm. Smart, right from the start. Call 1-800-STAY-OUT.
Hey, Scott for the Bet Show. Woo-wee, it's a hot one out there today. Make sure you're out there staying cool. I'll talk about something else that's hot, bet our best bets. Gave you another winner yesterday. Also, what's hot is oddstrader.com. You got to get over to that app store and download it today. It's got live scoring, play-by-play updates, and it's the best place to check all the odds at all the sports books right in the palm of your hand. But hey, let's stay hot. I'm going to give you another winner today. Let's roll with the Padres to beat the Cubs. Cubbies lost 8 in a row. It's going to be 9. Oddstrader.com. Woodward bets. Check it out.
It's Jeff, and let me tell you about our friends at Alta Equipment. They know what it comes to making a job completed on a budget and on schedule. Uptime matters. That's why Alta Equipment has partnered with the biggest names in construction. With the most diverse rental fleet in Michigan, there's nothing your project can throw at you that Alta cannot handle. Give them a call at 844-GO-TO-ALTA today. Alta Equipment, where uptime matters.
Back at it, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Neal, Ruhl, Jeff Iafrate here in the house. Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter. Sleeves optional here today. I think that is the overriding message here for Big D Energy. But, you know, we've been there, this and that. I spoke my piece on the Tigers, and I'm done. Jeff Iafrate said, oh, no, I'm going down there Friday. I'm not telling you don't go. Go. Have some beers, man. Have some drinks.
Yeah.
Have a good time.
I'll have a great time.
Yeah, knock down a hot dog, you know, like that. Do whatever you want to do, dude. Like, it's fun being outside in the summer. Days like today, even. They still are fun.
So I got the breakdown of that Minkah Fitzpatrick deal.
Yeah.
So Minkah Fitzpatrick, the safety, re-signed with the Steelers, 4 years, $73.6 million with $36 million guaranteed. So 4 years, $73.6 million, 36 guaranteed for a safety.
And what was
what's that? 18-ish, 18, 19-ish.
That's right around where Marcus Williams got paid as well, right?
Yeah, Williams
that's
was a tick under that. Yeah,
a little tick under that. So got to jump him.
Yeah, well, and it's funny too because like I always get criticized. Neal doesn't want him to sign anybody. I was a big proponent of signing Williams.
Yeah,
I was like that, but that was my anti Kyle Hamilton thing.
Right.
You know, I'm not. I know what Williams is.
Yeah.
We think we know what Hamilton is, but we don't know for sure. But I'm not gambling at 70% of his salary to find out.
Absolutely. Especially if you're taking him at number 2.
Right.
I'll take Williams.
Yeah, it's 18.5 per year.
Yeah. So
18.5 per year.
Gotcha.
Hey, he's proven.
Yeah.
He's proven
He's
that
a
you know
dog.
what you're getting.
Mm-hmm.
How old is he these days? Do they say?
He's not too old either. I know that.
Yeah, because he got traded to Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
And you know now he's cashing in, but you know I don't have a big problem with that.
25.
See, 25.
And it was a 4-year deal.
Yep.
Nice.
His whole prime.
That is a great deal. Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah. Now that. Yeah, I'd be in on that, no question. But, you know, it wasn't, you're not in that discussion yet, so that's where it is. Chris says, I hope we're fortunate enough to have Sheila extend and pay Brad Holmes when his 5 years are up instead of letting him go to a different team willing to open the checkbooks. And hopefully we cross that bridge when we get to it. And, you know, it's one of those things, too. Pistons fan 11 says, Neal's very insecure. Oh, talking about the Pride of Detroit thing. I think Reisman responded with one tweet where Neal swears he wasn't dunked on, and yet a day hasn't passed since he hasn't had his little joke. I mean, I don't understand how I was dunked on or anything.
Yeah,
I don't get that take or anything.
I tried
like
to
that.
piece it as you were saying the question. I don't understand.
No, I don't know. You know, Pistons fan 11. Like I'll put it out there. Like I feel like I said that in the video where I said, hey, I get they have a job to do, and I get they're putting out content.
I was here.
I said, I'm choosing not to consume it, which
Yeah.
I don't understand. And if you want to talk about insecure, ... That's fine. See, Pistons fan 11, like I do this for a living. Like I don't just show up every couple days, maybe 3 days a month or something like this is what I do. This is not a hobby. For me anyway. You know, it's not. So dunked on and stuff like that. I don't understand that. So, you know, yeah, we chuckle about it and stuff like that. We have some fun. Whatever. Then we move on. That show goes over. I go home and go do what I do, just like everybody else.
Still live your life. And that's what Pistons fan also said makes Tracy Deal look better. I mean, Tracy. I don't think he's on the level of these guys. So I don't know how that wouldn't even be in the conversation. But I get what he's saying, though.
Yeah,
so re-signing Tracy Walker on that deal is definitely enticing.
Yeah, for sure.
That's
And
Brad
again,
Holmes' deal.
he's not. He's not Ken Holland out there.
Yeah.
Giving Franz Nielsen $6.5 million a year till he's 36 years old.
Right.
So he's not doing that. So that's what I like. You got dunked on Twitter, and how did I get dunked on by what?
I'm still confused.
Oh.
What does that mean? Getting dunked on? Like, did you say the video you posted about David Blau? Who dunked on you?
Oh, I don't know. I don't understand that, but whatever.
I need a definition.
I do too. Spencer's been on his game as of late, as we talked about, with these little hypothetical questions, and he's got a pretty good one here.
This one's good.
Yeah. DB Coop 25. Don't let the clowns get to you. Don't worry, DB Coop. Again, we do this for a living. We're professionals over here. Which of these duos would you take in their prime? And Spencer has the little options up there for you to consume. And, if you could put Cade and Isaiah together and you have Miguel Cabrera and Al Kaline on the other side, which of those ones would you take? Throw Barry and Calvin, and then on the other side, Gordie Howe and Steve
we
Yzerman.
doing 2 and 2 or all of them together?
No, which of them? Which of those four? What do you got?
I'm leaning between Miguel and Al and Barry and Calvin. Those are the two I'm looking at. I would. That's a tough one. I love Cade. Obviously, I've been on that Cade bandwagon, but I just don't think him and Isaiah over. I mean, Cade has 1 year under his belt. I got two legends to my left. I will go with Barry and Calvin. I'll say that. I mean, those are two undisputed GOATs, arguably at their own position. So I'll take them. Two guys that retired early.
What about you, Sam Flannel?
To me, it's not even close. It's Barry and Calvin, like Jeff said, because Calvin Johnson, in my opinion, is the best wide receiver talent and maybe game-by-game wide receiver I've ever seen. And Barry Sanders is the second greatest running back who ever played the game. And they play complementary positions, one at running back, one at wide receiver. What more could you ask for? I think it's obvious. Spencer, you're the one who made it. Who would you go with?
I'm going with Gordie Howe and Steve Yzerman, honestly, because the Red Wings know how to create and sustain success more than any other franchise in the city, first of all. And second of all, Gordie Howe is arguably the best hockey player of all time. And if you put him with Steve Yzerman on this team, don't give me that face. What is that face? Are you going to say Gordie Howe is not arguably the best hockey player of all time? Because that's more blasphemous than Ben Wallace.
He played against 5 opponents, and he played for like a million years. I'm just saying, he's kind of a stat compiler. He's top 5, maybe top 10.
Sam Flannel, you know what? You're bringing up valid points, man. He played for a long time.
A long time against 5 opponents. I mean, come on. I mean, Gordie Howe is not even the best Red Wing of all time. I'd go with Stevie. And I'm not slandering Gordie Howe.
That is slandering Gordie Howe.
No. And I would put Nick Lidstrom up there.
Nick Lidstrom's the best defenseman of all time, for sure.
Yeah, and I would put him up there.
Over Gordie Howe?
Yeah.
In that duo? You'd rather take Lidstrom over Gordie Howe?
100%, yeah. I would go so far as to say if you had Yzerman and Lidstrom in that duo, that's the duo I would take. But instead, I roll with Isaiah and Cade. And here's why. Because Isaiah is the baddest dude out of anybody in that group. From a competition standpoint, Isaiah Thomas will find a way to win. He'll find a way to win. He did. It still gets undersold, and I don't get it. Look what he walked into here. There were 800 people at a game at the Silverdome. The franchise was in ruins.
Right.
He lifted that entire franchise, this entire city up, and won back-to-back titles, and arguably could have had 2 more. Had one stolen from him with the Lakers.
He did.
And then maybe had one stolen from him by Larry Bird, literally, with the steal.
Literally.
But for me, it's because out of all those guys, Isaiah Thomas is the one that will the team to a championship. Because I saw it. I saw it happen. I saw him beat Jordan and Magic and Bird. It didn't matter who the opposition was.
That's a great point. Now you got to defend the other half of your team. You got Cade up there. He's a fantastic player. But are you solely picking the team because you just have that much belief in Isaiah Thomas?
And Isaiah
which
Thomas,
is fair.
yeah, 100%.
Which is
like
fair.
for all that for all those people that are on that list, for all those duels that are on that list, there was one that single-handedly picked up his organization and franchise and carried them to a championship. And don't get it twisted, man. Like, ask anybody that played with him.
Oh, yeah.
Isaiah Thomas is the ultimate dog.
Consensus dog. Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, you could say Stevie did the same thing with the Dead Wings that Isaiah did with the Bad Boys.
Stevie took them to a level.
Yeah.
Like, Stevie got them in the conversation with the Oilers to the conference finals. He didn't have the firepower with them to overtake it. Maybe that's got a little to do with basketball, with the same five being out there on the floor for 85% of the game. But for me, it always goes back to that with Isaiah Thomas. Out of all those people that we put on that list, who's the biggest dog out of anybody on that list? Who's the biggest dog?
It would be
might be Barry Sanders.
No, I'm talking
like attitude dog, Isaiah.
Yeah,
like
Isaiah,
competition.
Yeah.
Like
It's gotta be Isaiah.
winning defines his existence.
Yeah. I mean, Gordie Howe.
was Barry the greatest?
Yes.
Yes,
for sure.
Like, was he the greatest player of anybody on that list? Yeah, he was just touched by God, and he was different than everybody else. But the guy who needs to win more than he wants to breathe is Isaiah Thomas.
And I get that argument. Like, if we're doing, and that's an interesting way to look at it. If you're picking your team based on, willing you to a championship, then your team is absolutely correct. I think what I based my team off of is I'm getting Barry, who you just stated, he's best player out of all these lists, and then I'm also getting Calvin, who is one of the, if not arguably, the best wide receiver. You can put him in that conversation of all time. So I think it's the greatness I'm getting out of 1-2 punch. But to your point, he's a dog.
Right.
Isaiah's a dog, man.
He is. He's a dog. Chris says, how about I'd love to see a Tigers team with a pitching duo of like Justin Verlander or Max Scherzer. Oh, wait. Well, yeah. I mean, that was pretty good. That was pretty good right there. Joseph Austin said Isaiah will cut you. And that's where I am with it, too. He would, man. He'd cut anybody that's in front of him for winning. Woodward Sports says the Bad Boys didn't have a whole team. Yeah, they had a whole team. But the guy that
ran through him,
rescued the franchise and was not going to be denied was Isaiah Thomas.
Yes, and Bill Lambier talked about it when new additions would come to the team. He'd be like, "Listen, this is how we work. This is how we operate. It's Isaiah's team, and you're going to fit in."
Yeah,
that's how
and
it
he
goes.
said he's the one I'm going to hitch my wagons to.
Yeah, absolutely.
And this is like the franchise. This was the franchise's all-time leading rebounder.
Yeah.
It goes to show. Again, I'll never understand it with Isaiah. Arguably the most Detroit-style guy of any of these people on this list. Arguably the most Detroit-style guy. Just doesn't. Why? Why is? And he's revered. Don't get me wrong.
Why?
For real though.
Yeah.
Am I crazy?
No,
Mark
you're
me,
right.
Spencer. Am I
You're right.
crazy?
He's the best. Best Detroit Piston ever for sure. It's
undisputed.
Yeah. So
maybe the most Detroit style guy
on this list out of these guys.
Yeah,
for sure. I mean,
so
Gordy,
why isn't he revered as such?
Gordy was pretty Detroit as well.
Are you talking about nationally?
No, just locally.
I don't know. Well, I only speak for myself. I don't know how other people value him. I love that. That should be a poll as well. But I don't. I mean,
why do you
I can't
hate
explain
Isaiah
other people's
Thomas?
opinions on that. I really can't.
Did you see Ryan Lentz in the chat said John Stockton's better?
He knows where he's poking you.
You're not doing that to me, Ryan Lentz. Good try.
He goes, good try.
Good try. I like that one. Good try.
That's what we were also talking about. Like, me and Easy brought this up yesterday on heavyweights. If you could swap out people on that, like, what if it was Isaiah Thomas and Ben Wallace both in their primes on that list?
It wouldn't matter with Isaiah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know how I know? He showed up at the Silverdome with 800 people at a game and looked around and said, "Who are these guys?" And beat Jordan and beat Bird and beat Magic and won back-to-back chips.
But in fairness, Neal, is just a quick thing. By the time they actually won championships, they had a squad. I know Isaiah kind of built it all from the ground up, but they did have a squad. It wasn't just Isaiah winning those championships, even though he was obviously the leader and the undisputed best player.
Right. but look at what he walked into.
And I acknowledge that.
It's similar to what Eiserman walked into.
Very similar to
very similar to what
in
Eiserman
the body
walked
of work.
into.
Like you're busting up his ankle. We scored 15 in the fourth quarter. Like I mean,
that's an endearing moment.
That's like one of those moments that you'll just never forget.
Like the Jordan flu game, the Isaiah ankle game, the LeBron cramp game. No,
oh, God. Yeah,
no, but the Jordan flu game, Isaiah ankle game, like those are things that. You know, the Paul Pierce poop game, it's like, these are things that endear you to a fan base.
Absolutely.
Dave Schultz says I was one of those 800 people back in the day. So, Dave, at the Silverdome. Imagine 800 people at the Silverdome for a game. It's crazy. I do want to continue this discussion, but I do want to tell you about the mulligan made by our friends at Gypsy Vodka. It's the official drink of summer. When you're out on the golf course, if you're hanging out, in the backyard, the mulligan is calling your name. Ask for the mulligan at your local golf course at our Total Wine near you. And don't forget about Gypsy Vodka as a whole. This weekend, I was mixing and scratching a little, Spencer. I had the club soda with the ice cubes in the lime with the old Gypsy Vodka. I cracked a new bottle, as a matter of fact.
Nick Leach says this mulligan is perfect for golf.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Tomorrow, the Orchards. I'm in there after I get out of the show.
There you go.
This chair is going to be spinning at 101. And I'm running out there. And guess what I'm going to ask for? I'll give it a dance.
There you go.
I'll give it a dance.
That's what it's all
Ask
about.
for it by name. It's the mulligan made by Gypsy Vodka. As always, drink responsibly.
Life is full of hard choices. We're here to make one of life's biggest decisions as simple as possible. My name is Christina Gennari, and for over 20 years, I've helped hundreds of families buy and sell homes. We cover all of Metro Detroit and more. From large luxury homes to starter homes, we will work hard to make sure that you get the home of your dreams. So if you're in the market today or even thinking about buying or selling in the future, make the obvious choice. Christina Gennari, the obvious choice in real estate. Visit us at soldchristina.com today.
Strawberry Fest is back at Big Boy. We brought back some of the classic breakfast items like the strawberry French toast, hot cakes, and waffle. If you're not feeling breakfast, try our new strawberry bacon chicken wrap, crispy chicken wrap, nacho wrap, or strawberry salad. The perfect recipe for springtime. And don't forget to grab dessert, including our berry delicious strawberry pie for only $1.99 with the purchase of $7.99 or more at participating Big Boy locations.
What's going on, everybody? It's Spencer for the Fulling Warehouse in Hamtramck. You know it. You've heard about it. It's the home of the original football bowling pin game called Fulling. Multiple ways you can play. They've got $12 open unlimited play. You can stay there open till close, have a great time. Or they have private lane reservation, $120, 10 to 12 people. You get thirsty? They have a $2 mystery beer vending machine. Put in $2, pops out a good beer. Want to make a decision on what you want? They have multiple fully loaded bars for you to choose from. So come on down and check them out in Hamtramck at the Fulling Warehouse, or visit them online at fullingwarehouse.com. Again, that is fullingwarehouse.com.
Couple segments left. That's it here on Big D Energy. Show flying by as usual. It's when we have Jeff Iafrate here in the building. We also have our guy, Sleeveless Sam Flannel. We got Spencer Raxter here as well. All of you, appreciate y'all tapping in, enjoying the discussion. Our YouTube chat thread. Which duo would you roll out with? And we put the duos up there on the screen. It's basically the who's who, pretty much who you guys would expect. And I'm taking Isaiah and Cade. And mainly I'm taking Isaiah because, as Nine Drinks said, he showed me. He
showed
did.
Us.
From
He did.
nothing. And, you know, a lot of those other guys, man, they didn't take you to that level. They just didn't. And I don't understand why he doesn't get the due locally. And Pat Riley, what about this point? Pat Riley says Detroit has more Jordan fans than Isaiah fans. That's why Isaiah didn't get his due. And there are, and I never understood that. Like, they used to call him back in the day the Detroit Laker fans. And certainly when Kobe came around, that Laker contingent would always roll out to the Palace. And I understood it to some degree in the 80s because of Magic being a Michigan State guy.
Right.
So I understood it to a certain degree. But I just never... Was it because Isaiah was such a competitor? Was it because Isaiah wasn't interested in making friends? Was it because he fought his best friend on the floor in the finals? Like, I thought we celebrate that.
And then the Larry Bird stuff, I guess. You know, Dennis Robbins' comments and him kind of piggybacking on it. I don't get it. It might be even newer generation as well. Like, if you lived during the Bad Boys and you were there in person watching the Bad Boys, I get why you'd have a personal hate for Jordan. But guys like me that didn't watch Isaiah in person, maybe looking back, there's more guys that like Jordan. But I don't get it. I don't understand that. Especially a guy who brought you 2 championships and beat some of the greatest players in NBA history. He needs more respect. Put some respect on that man's name.
Tammy Chin says, I will take Isaiah. Chuck Brewer says, the only person in history to have a winning record versus Bird, Magic, and MJ. That doesn't get enough credit.
It's like, isn't Chauncey the only person to beat Jordan, LeBron, and Kobe? Or something like that?
Man, we just got those types of guys in Detroit.
It's awesome.
It is. Those guys need to be, more represented better. I mean, in terms of Isaiah Thomas, everyone I talk to is a big fan. I don't know people that hate on Isaiah, but again, I'm sure they're out there.
Yeah. So, and we have it on the YouTube chat poll right now. What duo are you taking in their primes? Calvin and Barry with 44%, Cade and Zeke at 33%, Gordy and Stevie at 22%, and Miggy and Al Kaline, no votes.
No votes. Nobody cares about baseball. But I'll give them that Barry and Calvin would be the most fun to watch.
Oh, no doubt.
That would be insane to watch.
Well, and that's 2 different things.
Yes.
And I would be here for that.
Yeah, definitely 2 different things.
Now, if you're talking about winning, then I'm Isaiah and Cade, whoever you want to put with Isaiah. I'm with Isaiah.
Isaiah's your quarterback. Like, you have Calvin and Barry who's throwing the ball. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's the same argument.
But the thing is,
it doesn't matter.
Now, if you repurpose this question and you ask me, you say, Neal, who would you want to watch for the rest of your life? Which duo would you want to watch? Calvin and Barry.
Yeah, for sure.
Easily, yeah.
That's going to be fun. And I'm big on that. You guys know that with me. That's part of my thing with college football. That's why I like college football so much. Because if you're a fan of a style, like if you like boring, inferior offenses, you watch Big Ten football.
Chill, man.
But what?
Michigan State had a good offense last year.
No, but that's the narrative,
yes.
Right? That's what people say all the time.
Grind them out, run them out.
Yeah,
if you want 40 times a game.
Yeah, if you want to see Iowa and Purdue play a 15-12 game, then the Big Ten's that's where you go.
That's
go
fair.
for that.
That's fair.
Me, I like the 5 wide. I like the RPOs. I like 400 yards passing a game. And now Hawaii's got Timmy Chang back. I'll be tapping in again. Hell yeah, I'll be back in for that because they're going to sling it 65 times. I like that. That's entertaining. Are they going to win a national title? No, they're not going to win a national title, but it's going to be fun at 1:30 a.m. on a Saturday night when they kick off to start the second half.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Also, like, going back to that, the duos question, I think Miggy and Al Kaline, like, obviously you could say, Al Kaline wouldn't be able to hit in this era, but you drop him in his prime in this era, he puts up the same numbers that he did in his prime in his era. That would be an unstoppable duo. Miggy and Al Kaline, Al's hitting first, Miggy's hitting third, and then you fill it with a bunch of scrubs. It doesn't matter. You can fill it with the lineup we got now. Put Candelario in there.
Drop him on the.
Put Cody Clemens hitting under 100 in there, and they'll still score 5 runs a game.
Castro. I'm surprised they have 4%.
Castros are our best hitters right now.
Oh, they're so good that they're bunting with 2 guys on and nobody out, right?
Yeah.
That's how our best hitters are bunting. The number 3 hitter in today's age of Major League Baseball is bunting. Come on.
They should have put Victor Reyes in the 3-hole. He had 3 hits last night.
Am I making too much of this for real? Mark me, you guys.
You're not. We're awful.
No
we
way.
have a terrible offense that will never do anything this year. And that's a big sign of it.
Everything Spencer just echoed.
Rich Diana, when does the
+1.
Ask Neal segment start? In about 2 minutes, guys, okay? Oh, God.
Yeah.
Neal, I know you're excited.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, 100%.
I am. Keep it in.
Joseph Austin says, Barry running the ball is the greatest thing you could watch. To this day, he is the most exciting athlete I've ever watched, just in terms of when you saw him standing there in the backfield and you knew he was going to get the ball, you just did this in your seat, right? Like you got to the edge of it and it was going to be electric.
It's crazy. That's the one player. If I could pick one player to go back and watch in person, it would be easily Barry Sanders. I mean, we got YouTube highlights at this point, but to watch that man in person, I can't imagine. He's like a video game character. Got a joystick on him.
I don't even want to say it because I'm going to get outed. I'll just get destroyed. If I could go back and watch one player, would it be bad if I said Michael Jordan?
No.
Just like
no,
the
because of the
greatness,
aura
yeah.
and everything like that.
Yes.
No, it wouldn't. And you could watch him lose to Isaiah Thomas.
Like, yeah, and that would make me even more happy. But if I
Because
was to go back and watch one career, Michael Jordan's would be.
I know that. Time has chosen to try to wash what the Pistons did to Jordan.
Oh my God. They didn't even touch on it in the Last Dance.
Yeah.
They gave it like 10 minutes. They're like, oh yeah, and they lost to the Bad Boys every time. Like,
And I know that Jordan gets rewarded for losing those games and LeBron gets penalized for winning those games.
Yeah.
Like, I know that's how that works. You'll never be able to convince me otherwise of that. That's a different topic for a different show. But, like, LeBron gets finals losses held against him when he had no business being there.
with
You know,
Matthew Dellavedova.
Yeah. That gets that held against him when he won the games that Jordan didn't win early in his career. But, whatever. That's a different topic for a different day. And I know everybody, these same people that say, I didn't like Jordan are going to be, what are you talking about, Neal? LeBron sucks.
Yeah.
Which, is he the greatest ever? I don't know that he's the greatest ever. But
He's number 2.
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah.
He's absolutely second best player ever.
That's something that depends on your flavor.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
That's one of those flavor
He's probably
questions.
the most skilled basketball player
He's
ever.
the best. Yeah. I mean, if you're talking
All
if you're
around.
taking accomplished and
Yes.
player, it's Michael.
Hey,
but-
save this for July, guys.
Player.
All right, save this for Tuesday, July 8th or whatever it is. Instead, hey, Ask Neal coming up next. Get those questions. Jeff Iafrate will play the role of administrator for the Ask Neal segment.
I got you.
Sports marketing agency helps spread awareness about mental health and substance abuse disorders. Their podcast called This is the F Word. What does it do? Well, it helps spread awareness of fentanyl use and other addictions. Go to thesportsma.com. Again, if you're struggling or you know someone else who's struggling, go to thesportsma.com. The sports marketing agency is here to help.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side.
Lemieux and McCarty, who've had a good knockdown drag up. There they go, right on the whistle. They were talking to one another.
Woodward Sports.
Hi, my diamonds. It's Crystal with an X. You want to get hot and perfect like me? Here's my super easy routine. Drink at least a gallon of water before you wake up. Attach a weight to everything in your house. Sell your car and just sprint everywhere. Scream when you exhale.
Don't follow Crystal with an X. Do your own thing at Planet Fitness with tons of equipment and free fitness training in our clean and spacious clubs. Join now for just $10 a month and cancel anytime.
3 NBA championships. Detroit fans were there. 11 Stanley Cups. Detroit fans were there. 4 World Series wins. Detroit fans were there. And that one Lions playoff win in 1991? Yeah, Detroit fans were there. Woodward Sports, where the fans are.
Neal Ruhl for oddstrader.com, the #1 site for all of your game day betting activity. You can start your handicapping journey at oddstrader.com. You want play-by-play updates, live scores, bet tracking capabilities? Easy. Download the OddsTrader app from your app store today. Hey, they're going to get you the best price on every game. The most critical component, I think, of their service. Get you the best price on every game. Let you know what all the sign-up offers from multiple sports books are. Go to oddstrader.com. Player stats, key game stats, all available at oddstrader.com. Download the app today.
Oh, we got the questions.
Oh, do we really? All right, back at it. Final segment of the show. You guys asked for it. I'm not sure anybody really wants this, but whatever. It's time for Ask Neal. Oh, Ryan Long says, what about if it were Ty Cobb and Miguel Cabrera? I think Ty Cobb would be pretty upset if Miguel Cabrera was his teammate. Just going off of history. But Jeff Iafrate, your honor.
Oh, God. Hey, Neal, I still think if Detroit would have gotten Sammy Watkins, he would have been a perfect number 2 for Megatron. What say you?
Pull up Sammy Watkins' career numbers. Next question.
Ask Neal, what do you think about Jeff Hardy getting arrested?
Yeah, third DUI I saw.
Yeah.
Oof, that's tough, man. Like the multiple time, like anybody can make a mistake, right? But the multiple time DUI thing, especially in today's day and age,
yeah,
when you can use your phone and like catch a ride anywhere, and especially if you're celebrity, like chances are you're probably out with the crew or out with somebody.
It's negligence.
Yeah. Like there's some kind of problem. Obviously, I don't think I'm breaking any new ground with that. But 3 DUIs in 10 years, man. Either you don't care or you don't know, and both of them are bad. And I'll give you the stock answer. Hey, I hope he gets the help he needs, but it's got to start with him. At some point, it's on Jeff Hardy.
Absolutely. Jack asks Neal, do you trust Chris Ilitch to fire Avila?
I'm worried about it, man. I am. I think there's a lot of Jerry Reinsdorf, White Sox / Tony La Russa stuff going on right there, where that's his guy and he's going to roll with it. I asked the question to all you guys. At what point do you have to be good at your job? And this isn't taking shots at anybody or anything like that.
Right.
I just go down the roster of trades. Spencer's shown you the spreadsheet before. I go down the moves. I look at the draft picks. Where's the help in the farm system? At what point do you have to be good at your job? Maybe there isn't that point. I don't know.
Spot on. Ask Neal by Dave, do you think Zeke's post-playing errors, CBA, Knicks, Pacers, fallout with Mr. D, have tarnished his reputation as a player?
Probably nationally to some degree. And look, was Isaiah did he do everything right after the playing days were over? Coaching, GM, stuff like that? No, probably not. Didn't have that success. But me, I can separate the two with what he did on the floor.
Absolutely.
Again, I just go, guys, go to Google and look at the Pistons crowds in the early 80s before Isaiah got there. Look at it.
It's a family reunion.
That's what it is. And he put Detroit on that national stage. And I wish, part of me wishes it were happening today in today's social media age. For you young bucks that weren't around for it, that was the biggest thing I think Isaiah did for me as a Detroit sports fan, was like this CBS love fest with Magic and Bird and then later Jordan was interrupted by Isaiah Thomas. And as a Detroiter, where you know what the national opinion is of Detroit, and watching the games with my dad when I was a kid, those are great memories because Isaiah put us in that spotlight. The city of Detroit, with LA and Boston and everything that went along with it, Detroit was the king. And he did that, man.
Yeah.
Obviously he had a supporting cast of very good players, but he built that organization.
Yeah, ran through him. Next question. Pat Riley asked, who is your second favorite Pistons player after Isaiah Thomas?
I've always kind of run back and forth with that. I was a big Bill Laimbeer guy because he was a big guy he was like the original stretch player.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like he was the original stretch five. And so, because he did innovate the game to some degree, because that wasn't something that was done by a lot of people. And I did like Rodman a ton too. Rodman was my dad's favorite, because and my dad liked him because of the antics and things like that, and the pointing to the crowd. And then as you got to find out the story, when he talks about I was going nowhere in my life, and I wasn't supposed to be there, and I was just happy to be there. I get behind that story a little bit. And Rodman was very Detroit. A second-round pick, Southeast Oklahoma State.
Did the dirty work.
Did all the dirty and loved it.
Yeah,
that was his thing, dude. He loved it. And I kind of always go back and forth between Rodman and Laimbeer.
It says, this one's a little biased towards me. That's why I'm asking it. DB Coop says, ask Neal, do you think Jeff has the best hair in the office?
Yeah, there's no question.
Yeah, that's undisputed.
That's undisputed. I mean, that's like asking if Alabama's the best college football program. He has Alabama football hair of Woodward sports. He does, dude. It's a dynasty. He might not win every single day,
but I'm in the conversation.
But yeah, I mean,
I
it's
got
a
a question for Ask Neal, because I just scrolled by it on my Facebook. Is there a bigger ball drop than the Bucks not trading Andrew Bogut for Steph Curry when he was offered in 2012 because of ankle concerns, and instead they went with Monte Ellis?
I remember that. I'd forgotten about that till you brought that up.
Yeah.
Now, but draft day is riddled with those things.
But still.
You know?
Steph Curry. You could have Giannis and Steph Curry.
I know.
Like, what? Like, what? Talk about the best duo of all time. Like, sorry, Shaq and Kobe, but Giannis and Steph Curry in today's league.
I bet Knicks fans are just as ticked off about that draft night as well with Steph Curry.
Yes.
He thought he was going to New York.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so, I mean, draft days are littered with those kinds of stories.
Absolutely.
But damn.
Yeah.
Damn.
Andrew Bogut. Can't
That's
give
tough.
up on Andrew Bogut.
That is tough.
Last question before we go. Do you think Bob Lanier gets his due for his Detroit days? R.I.P.
I think he does in Detroit. I think the organization does a good job, like, you know, promoting the days of the, you know, the guys of the past and stuff like that. I probably not nationally,
right?
But yeah, I mean, I think he does. I think he gets his due. He was a great player.
Yeah,
he was a great player. I mean,
besides Cade, only #1 pick in NBA history.
Right,
so.
right, and you know he delivered. He's no George Mikan when you go back and reconstruct everything.
They didn't change the rules for him.
They didn't change the rules for the guy like they did George Mikan. Appreciate y'all tapping in to the show today. We'll be back at it tomorrow. Stanley Cup talk tomorrow. We're talking about it.
Yes.
We
have
are.
to.
You got it. It's the Stanley Cup Finals, man. We're going to talk about that. There'll be a lot more as well. So for Jeff Iafrate, for Sleeveless Sam Flannel, you got a double clutch when you do that one. Spencer Baxter, my name's Neal Ruhl. Thanks for tapping in. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Well, see you later.